Comic Timing is member supported by listeners like you over at patreon.com/comic timing. We thank you very much for your continued support of the show. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to some diary entries by me, occasional extra audio when we can record it. There may very well be some extra audio that we recorded at New York Comic Con that may or may not be in the final version of this episode that you're listening to, or it might just be Patreon exclusive. I'll make up my mind when we get to it. There's also a couple of extra articles and a whole bunch of other good stuff to be found. So thank you very much for your continued support over patreon.com/comic timing. If you want to give a one-time donation, that's also available at paypal.me/IAM sci-fi. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Hey there, folks. My name's Ian Levinstein, and welcome to episode 263 of Comic Timing. And we are back here after a couple of weeks of not recording, as we had some backlog. I had a lot of really early call times at work, and I didn't want to do anything. I hope you guys enjoyed that extra point that I put out before New York Comic Con, and I will probably wind up doing more things like that in the future when we are attending cons. But this is going to be our New York Comic Con wrap-up episode. Joining us to the left of me on the Zoom call, Raph. What's going on, Raph?
Hello, comic timingers.
Yes, that's
Timingites.
That's what we call them, comic timingers. That's
that's totally a thing. I didn't just make this up just now.
We've been calling them that for 19 years. Good old comic timingers, you know?
Oh my God. 19 years of calling people that. You think we'd have come up with something better in 19 fucking years?
I know, seriously. Also, as you talk, you're moving your camera. So I think when you showed me your thing earlier, you may have like knocked it loose a little bit. Right. So just make sure it's nice and secure there so it doesn't fall mid-recording like that one time that happened.
That was fun. No, I think we're good. It's just that now I'm shaking my tape.
Yeah. And of course, Kris Naughta's back with us as well. Hey, Kris.
Hello, good evening or morning or afternoon when you're listening to this.
Yes.
And it's finally fall. I mean, for the hot, cold 2 seconds before winter starts.
Yeah. I miss seasons. That was the whole season of fall and the season of spring has kind of just been replaced by about 3 days where the temperature goes down about 15 degrees, and then it winds up going down another 15 after that, and before you know it, it's the next season. Or it goes up 15 and then up 15 more, and then it's all of a sudden summer. So
today I visited my family, and so there's like a giant ass spider that lives in front of my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for it, and like my niece is like, "Oh, where's the spider? Is the spider there?" And I'm just like, it might be hibernating or it might just die. I don't know. But like it's cold and winter is coming. And she goes, "Hey, Grandma, winter is coming."
Oh, God.
And she said it again. She goes, "Winter is coming." And I'm like, oh, no, what did I do?
Congratulations. You officially made her into a Game of Thrones character. I hope you're really happy. Yeah.
Winter is coming, and Crypto is a dog.
Oh, man. So, yes, winter is coming. Usually a good sign that winter is coming is actually New York Comic Con for us, because once upon a time, at the very, very first New York Comic Con, it was February, so it was already winter. And I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Oh, God.
Dear God, I remember how cold it was walking over to the con.
I didn't mind. What I minded was having to carry my coat around because I don't really have to do coat check. And, if you did, the coat check was insane because everybody's trying to check their coats.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And as I remember, as I posted right when we were attending New York Comic Con, I was like, weather was like, "Oh, hey, I hope you enjoy the warm 70, 80 degree weather you've had the past couple of weeks." "Oh, yeah, no, that's pretty good." Yeah, just in time for New York Comic Con, it's going to be 50. So
not even just that, it's nor'easter.
Yes.
If you do not live in the Northeast, you have not experienced the pain that is a nor'easter.
Yep. And And yeah, it's terrible.
Oh no, I finally looked it up. I was like, gee, I wonder what a nor'easter actually is. It's classified as an extratropical cyclone.
Okay, interesting.
So it's not that far removed from a hurricane. We
No,
just
it's not.
don't
Yeah.
we just don't make a big deal out of it. We're like, yeah, it's gonna be cold and I'm gonna hate my life for a few days.
Well, the weather
Yeah.
wasn't even that bad here. I just feel bad for anybody who was traveling back. There
On
were
Monday.
there were yeah, not even that. Like people that were traveling back on Sunday. I know of a couple of artists. I think Brent Schoonover was one of them because I went to head over to his table on Sunday and he was already gone. He had to leave early in order to catch his flight to ensure he still had a flight to catch. Because a whole bunch of people's flights got canned, heading back to wherever they were going because of the weather. So glad we live here, baby. We're already
yeah.
Weather.
advantage.
Yeah, we love weather in New York.
Yeah. Please don't hurt us too much this winter. Please don't hurt us. To
Summer
remind,
stinks and winter's freezing.
did any of you remember that the third New York Comic Con took place in April? Because I did not remember that at all.
I vaguely remember isn't that the one? Isn't that our first podcast arena year?
No, because our first podcast arena year I think was the second one, if I remember correctly. Because
So this is my first Midtown year
okay, that's what it must have been.
because
Yeah.
I did both.
Yep. Yeah. 2008 was April 18th to 20th. It was the only non-February or October New York Comic Con that's ever happened. As right after that April one, it went back to February for 1 year, and then it's been in October ever since. Pretty much the same weekends, give or take a weekend. Sometimes it would move up a weekend, sometimes it would move back a weekend. But we've been solidly in New York in October ever since with that.
Honestly, I think it's the best month for it because you don't want to do November, December because it's gonna be freezing cold, and you don't want to do summer here.
Oh no,
because
definitely not.
I love that hot garbage smell. I can't say that for every other person coming to the city.
Yeah, I mean, Anime NYC just made the move to August. I mean, we've covered that a couple times now, and it's sweltering here in August. It's nice to have a safe haven of air conditioning that is the Javits. But
It actually wasn't hot that weekend, if I recall correctly.
lucky.
So we lucked out on that. Yeah, like it's not just about the weather though, right? It's also about what is going on for companies at that time and other conventions. And the summer, of course, has San Diego Comic Con. And if we were to move New York Comic Con to the summer, then it just becomes an also ran. Right now, being in October, mid-October, is a big benefit because, like, yeah, they don't all the stuff stuff has been revealed at San Diego. So New York now in September, I'm sorry, I keep saying September, October gets to promote stuff that's going to come out in like January, right?
Yeah.
And they can promote, it can actually focus on comic books, which I mean, I don't know if we're segueing into that, but that I think was a big theme this year was they really wanted to push that it was a comic book convention.
Yeah.
What?
I know. Yeah. What a concept, right? Like, and it's kind of been vying for that. We've talked about this the past couple of years when we've talked about New York Comic Con that I feel like they've been trying to kind of return the comic books to it in one form or another. We also said that, I mean, I know we didn't attend it, but I remember when Donovan attended the first post-COVID San Diego, like a lot of people who attended San Diego Comic Con that year were like, yeah, it was great. Like it was all comics because none of the Hollywood people were there. But it's easy to find a balance if you actually try, between media and comics at your con, because a Comic Con is going to be both, like almost every single time, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're Denver Comic Con or you're New York Comic Con. You're going to try to balance the two as much as possible, and I think New York's been doing a pretty good job of that.
I think the bigger thing now is we're seeing a movement towards smaller shows. I think when you ran into Joe at the Artist Alley, and you guys were talking about the Hudson Valley show that he's been doing.
Yes, indeed.
And I do feel like there's going to be a lot more of those because I wrote the Patreon post that we did about the Brooklyn Independent Comics Showcase. which is basically just a comics show. It's free. It's held once a year at the. Sorry, my brain is wow. I just suddenly blanked out. Sorry, Phil, help me. Industry City.
Yes.
Industry City.
Yeah. I was about to say Brooklyn Army Terminal, and I'm like, no, that's not right. I will be at the Brooklyn Army Terminal on Sunday as part of Open House New York, probably just pointing people to which door they're supposed to go through. So, you should check that out. You can come bother me for a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Please bother Kris. No, the one in particular that Joe runs, just to give him a plug, is it was great to run into him. And it's been a couple of years for me since I've run into Joe Gonzalez of Comic News Insider. Kingston Independent Comic Expo is what he helps run in the Hudson Valley. There are a couple of other Hudson Valley shows, but this one in particular is the one that has his stamp on it, and it's a nice little indie con, like similar to Mocha and stuff like that, where they're just looking to get the independent writers and illustrators and zine makers and small press as much show as possible. And he was saying that this upcoming year they've doubled their space, so there'll be a lot more room to breathe inside of it, and possibly even a couple of panels if they can squeeze it in. But that's going to be April 18th, 2026, the Kingston Independent Comic Expo, if you're in the New York area and want to check out some nice independent comic books. But let's segue a little bit into New York Comic Con itself. I do want to start with you, Raph, just because welcome back to 4-day life. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I mean, for all the listeners and viewers who don't know, my kidneys failed in 2017, and the last time I did the con more than 1 day was, you think 2022?
I think so, yeah.
Because there's that picture, that was the time, and I'll tell the story later, that we were all in a circle. Yeah, you, me, Lenny, Daryl, like all of our regular comics crew.
Yep.
And that time, and pretty much every con since COVID, I have been completely wiped out physically. Like everything hurts, and I would hug our fellow co-host and friend of the show, Jamal Eigel's table. I would just get behind the table like, hey Jamal, I'm just gonna hang out with you for how long's the con open? 4 more hours. I'm gonna be here 4 hours.
Yeah.
And just I can't go out there. And that was me for like the last 4 or 5 years. The time before that I went multiple days, I was in a wheelchair, and my lovely friends Jackie and Chelsea cosplayed and wheeled me around as I pretended to be a starship captain, pondering my decisions in my captain's chair, which was being wheeled. I should have just gone for Pike. This is before Strange New Worlds debuted, so
yes,
I didn't really. There would no. I think more people would get it now than they would have back then.
Yeah, the picture in question was on the Thursday of 2022, because funny enough, that was the time that you went more than 1 day. That was the time that I was there for a day and a half, because because I had a wedding to go to in Boston, and by pure luck, that first day on Thursday was when I managed to run into a whole bunch of people, including Julian Lytle, Lenny, and Javi on the floor, and we took that great picture of all of us. I will point out that I was lucky enough to run into Julian Lytle again on the floor this year, which I didn't even know he was going to be there this time around, and I'm super glad that I did get the opportunity to at least accidentally run into him on the floor on I think it was Saturday, if I remember correctly. So always great to run into him in one way or another. But I mean, I know you held up, but like, what was your take on a full con this time around? Like, how did New York Comic Con treat you?
64,000 steps in 4 days, by the way.
Oh wow.
I think it's really thrown me off. I think it's because I haven't done a Saturday in ages. Even before I got sick, I think I stopped doing Saturdays because Saturdays are crazy.
They're ridiculous, yeah.
And I think, because you had mentioned in previous years while we were talking about at the show that Saturdays aren't necessarily the busiest day on the floor anymore, and I kind of got that vibe because I didn't spend a lot of time on the actual show floor on Saturday, but I was there a couple of times, and I could get around, right? I didn't have to do the Comic Con shuffle where you're like here and you're like just moving like this side. You're not moving forward. You're moving side to side and you're hoping you inch forward. I didn't get that a lot on. I got that more on Thursday and Friday on the show floor than I did on Saturday. That's not to say Saturday wasn't crowded at all and it wasn't insanely busy. It was, but just my like, you know, this show's been around for 19 years. I think I've gone to like 17, 16 of them.
Yeah.
Because, because I don't know. I don't think we count the COVID one or what. I don't know. Either way, I've missed like 2 or 3 out of the 19. And I don't like all of my expectations from my previous experience kind of went out the window a little bit. Because, well, I mean, it's a combination of like what I'm physically capable of, which is I would say like 80 to 90% of what I used to be.
Yeah.
But also like, yeah, the crowd. The crowd is really interesting. 'Cause, it's like it's busier certain days than other days, even though like weekends you would think everyone's off work or most people are off work.
Yeah.
So it's crowded in interesting spots, and also like I feel like there are younger fans even. Like, I feel like that there are more people cruising Artist Alley that are younger than me than older than me, which obviously, back in the beginning, we were the ones in our early 20s, the early to mid 20s running around the con. And now
we
we're in
still
our
are. No,
no, we're in our 40s, and now like the whippersnappers who were like born like I would, by the time they were walking, I had owned 10,000 comics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're the ones working on it, and I'm seeing more of them. And even though I hear stuff like, "Oh, I've never read that book," or "I don't know who that is," they're still there. They actually make the effort to like walk the aisles and look around. I don't. We can get to the like how everyone did later, like in terms of like talking about how artists did. But like it's interesting being on this side now, which it's kind of like a dichotomy of like what my because I stream, right, and like how much people know in my streaming space about comics and how much I have to educate them.
Yeah.
And it's a lot different. It's a lot I still have to do a lot of education. But like it's interesting that people are still like, even though they've never touched a comic in their lives, they're actually open to it. Whereas I feel like maybe 10, 15 years ago, it was just like, oh, all the young kids watch anime and read manga. That's it. It's just mangas. Like that seemed to be like the popular consensus. It's like manga's taking over. That is the future of the comics industry. Everyone's gonna everyone's gonna do tankobon and blah blah blah. Like, and I mean, like Japanese animation and comics are a huge part of the industry. They still are. That, don't get me wrong. It's not like they've regressed anyway.
Sure.
But I feel like American comics are haven't died down. Like we've been talking about the death of American comics forever. It hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't. And for that matter, sales would tell you exactly that as well. Kris, I'm sure you have thoughts on what Raph was just discussing here, both related to the con and related to the comics itself. So go ahead.
Well, the first thing is, hold on, are you under 18 years old? No.
Okay, good.
So what Raph was just saying about anime and manga, I have weird thoughts about that, because I think anime and manga, especially anime, has gone so mainstream that comic books are becoming more niche. And that might be part of the appeal at this point. It's a weird theory. I know some of these people listening, you'll probably disagree with me, whatever. It's just the inkling of an idea. The reason I got distracted just now is I wanted to look this up because, this is a headline from Reactor. There's a bunch of sites reporting this, but it's like Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle breaks a box office record held by Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow.
That's a 25-year-old record.
Yeah, because it has earned $128.6 million, so it is now the top grossing international film of all time in the domestic marketplace.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like it's been doing, buku numbers, basically, and I think that it is a reflection of the fact that, like, just anime and manga have become this thing. Like there's headlines I've been also seeing this week that there, like a lot of protest movements, people are just dressing up and flying the flags of the Straw Hat Pirates from One Piece. So I think it's reached a point where it's no longer the niche thing, and that's like what I'm thinking. You're saying when people are open to maybe learning about comics, I think it is just partly now it's like a niche thing because I think, we've talked over the years about how unwelcoming the comic book industry and comic book fans. Yeah, I see Raph, he's doing a little face palm here.
Oh my God. Okay, when we get to talking about the people we saw, I will. Oh my. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
I
it.
think the thing is, I think that was the image we had for so many years, and now it's just like I feel like it's receded. I'm not going to say that those people don't still exist. I was just reading a Reddit thread, somebody asking, I went to New York Comic Con. Why is Superman so divisive? Like the movie.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, same can be said for we're gonna talk about Peacemaker on a separate episode because I'm sure we're gonna go 2 hours just talking about New York Comic Con here. But same can be said for Peacemaker. Same can be said for anything Marvel. Same can be said for literally anything superhero related. I'm sure there's gonna be people who play the Invincible Versus game and are gonna be like, it's not like the animated series. Like, it's a game, dude. It's a game.
It's going to do what it wants to do. No, I just think there's been a weird shift in the hierarchy of fandom. I can't say hierarchy anymore without thinking the hierarchy of the DC universe.
Yeah.
I think there's been a shift.
To change.
Yeah, and I think that might work in the favor as it might make comic books seem a little more friendly again. Like my brain is all over the place right now, and I apologize for that.
No,
I was just thinking about, we'll talk about the con in general, but one thing I was just remembering is I went to the panel for Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And I know, you'd be like, wait, Kris, are we talking about comics? Actually, yes, because George R. R. Martin was at the panel, and George R. R. Martin was like, I remember my first New York Comic Con. It was 1974, and the guests were, Steve Ditko and Flo Steinberg. And I'm like the only person going, woo, Flo! Because nobody knows who that even is anymore because we have moved into a new, we're many generations past when a name like that was still relevant. It's very sad, I think, because Flo should be more prominent than she is. But
I mean, even Stan is kind of like... Stan's not talked about the same way because he's.
I'm going to disagree on that. To be honest with you, I feel like I still hear Stan's name bandied about all over the place, whether it be even Marvel, Marvel Cinematic or Marvel Comics, like
holographic. Yeah, that AI screen thing. That was what, Las Vegas Comic Con?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was a tacky city. I just didn't know which one.
Yeah, well, that and the it was a Kickstarter at one point, but apparently we're gonna get that documentary about how Stan was elder abused for many years, and this is the guy who documented it, rather than do something about it. But that's beside the point.
That's a bigger thing about our culture is how people seem to record things rather than intervening these days.
Yes. Definitely.
That's a whole other topic for another podcast. We're just here to talk about our silly picture books.
Yeah, but yes, I do feel like in some ways the industry has become a little bit more inviting, and I think that the prevalence of digital, for one, has helped that significantly. Stuff like webtoons and other platforms where you're able to spread your own comic and the word about your comic a lot easier, and start out in a place which then eventually pivots into published works outside of digital, plus smaller publishers. Like Jamal runs the numbers with us almost every single year that comic books are not failing. Like the actual sales of comics are actually shockingly strong right now. And it might not necessarily just be Marvel and DC. It is all those other options that you have, whether it be Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Boom, any of these other areas.
And you have to remember, manga still factors into that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm never going to pretend they're two different things. They are not, though. Again, we have talked about this many years. I'm gonna throw it to Raph and say, Raph, who's the biggest graphic novelist in the United States?
You got
it? It's Viz.
No.
The novelist, person, human being.
Oh, novelist?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Ooh, I know.
I feel disappointed because Raph is usually the one who says this. Ian, what is it?
Raina Telgemeier.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. I'm out of practice. Okay, I haven't worked. I'm tired and I'm out of practice.
No,
Raph
it's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And I think that was still very present at this show because Scholastic had a booth.
Yes, they did.
We took a photo there. The group of us sat on the little daybed, the Babysitters Club, because they were doing a huge Babysitters Club this year. Anna Martin was at the show. I really, really, really wanted to meet Anna Martin, and I did get invited to the Scholastic party, but I decided to go see a movie with Ian instead because we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that like Scholastic has this huge booth, and again, I think that's reflective of just the role it plays in comics. My brain has been kind of jumping around. I'm thinking about the fact that, Jamal brought this up to us. And I mean, I've seen these numbers too, that only 14% of Americans read for pleasure now.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is thing like Comic Con kind of like, is that true? Because it seems like there's a lot of people who actually want to buy books and read books here. And yeah, a lot of them are comics, and that's fine. That's still reading for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all tied together. Not that I could give you a grand unified theory of exactly what's going on, but you're right. Like comics do feel like they're doing very well. And it feels like that when we went to the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that one of the things that actually wound up working for the show floor this year in particular, there were some changes. You could have blindfolded me the past couple of years and put me in an aisle, told me the aisle number, and I probably would have known where I was going. Because, Marvel's always here, Boom is always here, this and that and that and that. For the most part, locations are stationary. And I think one of the major changes that New York Comic Con did this year, and I guarantee you, just like we were talking about how there's, both sides to the story on Superman and stuff like that, I guarantee you there's probably the people that hate that they did this, but I actually thought it really worked well, is moving the bulk of the publishers to a specific part of the floor. It was near the back of Javits North, so that would be all the way to the right of the show floor.
It was the northwest of Javits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The northwest side, the northeast side is usually where all of the people selling package and stuff are, and they were still there.
Yeah.
And then there's the two sections of the Javits floor. So right now I'm just thinking of the upper section, the north section.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say upper, I meant north.
Yeah.
So they put all of the publishers. They put DC, IDW. Boom was not there because Boom was actually over with Penguin Random House. And
Correct.
all of the traditional book publishers were still where they usually are, which is more on the southwest side. No, east side, southeast side.
Yep.
Even I forget my directions sometimes. And then you had your multimedia companies, and that's where Marvel ended up, and they were the southwest. So Marvel was detached from the rest of the comic companies because of this.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Yep. Which frankly, in some ways, always kind of happened. Because Marvel being where they were, it didn't put a whole bunch of people in that middle area in between the two parts of the floor, tended to happen. The small press, there were still some small press in those middle
aisles. What Ian's talking about, so we're talking about, basically the Javits, what the exhibition hall in theory has two sections, right? There's the north end and the south end, and the south end is smaller, and they put all the entertainment companies there because HBO had the booth there, Nickelodeon / Paramount, And then in between those two things is this little overhang. We talked about this also in our Anime NYC. Was
Yep.
it? Yeah, we all hate that section because it feels cramped.
Oh yeah.
They shove a bunch of booths in there. Just go, okay, here you go, have fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's always, and they're always like the smaller, the smallest possible booths you can get. And it's like 6 to an aisle, like 3 and 3, and then it's like space, and then to walk across, and then another 6 and another 6.
Yeah, I did actually find New York Comic Con actually had a PDF of their maps on the website.
I remember sharing this.
Oh,
to
it's even
chat.
worse than I said.
Yeah, no, it's the actual separation is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, but that area that tended to be all the way over was a little bit easier separated this time. Like if I zoom in here, it's basically all of these here, like all of that general area there, like to the middle right, cramming as many tables as humanly possible.
For those listening in, Ian is zooming in on a section of floor where there are 8 islands of 6 booths each, arranged in a grid, and above them are 3, I guess, also rectangles, and then above those are 3 squares.
Yep.
And they all have like tiny, tiny little numbers that I can't even read from here.
It's super cramped.
It's the ceiling. Like the aisles aren't even that skinny. It's that ceiling that creates that psychological crampedness. And I think, and also the way they laid it out, because the very bottom below of the tiny little tables I just described, you see on the map, you see Pop Insider and Hot Flips.
Yeah.
And those booths aren't like, they're not the way they are as displayed on this map, which is like this neat, tidy little square. They're actually just like, they eat up the whole area, and you end up kind of squeezing in between them because a lot of people stop there and there's lines.
Yeah, there's freebies at the Pop Insider, and then Hot Flips is just like the supply guys, like any sort of supply, bags and boards, acrylics for your for your prints and everything, poster things. That's where you get your supplies from.
But my favorite part of the show for this year, which I'm not even sure if it's actually on this map, but here it is. I'll have to zoom over a little bit more. Is they did something very important this year, which I will show for those of you on the YouTube, and I will describe as well. Funko was all the way over to the very, very far left of the floor in Javits North. In previous years, where we're talking about the Pop Insider and stuff like that, that was essentially, Funko was not too far from there.
Funko's where Paramount is.
Yes.
I would say more where HBO's booth was this year.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Paramount has had that location for a while now. Was it last year that it was like the South Park thing?
I think it was.
It was either last year or the year before. I remember like feeling like Cartman's fake boob. Because I do enjoy the Paramount booth. Like, again, we're trying to focus on comics here, but I do enjoy that Paramount has a booth where they try to give you something to do.
Yeah.
Like, and again, we can talk about this, but I do appreciate that. Yeah, let's Funko off in the corner. Yay.
Well, all these people line up for exclusives for Funko. Even at this point, it is 2025, and Funko exclusives are still a thing that sells like gangbusters.
So
slots to buy.
You want to hear something that'll drive you nuts? Is that so? First off, you have to get reservations to go into the Funko booth. It's been like that for years, and the reservations sold out in like 12 minutes. If the people on Reddit are to be believed.
I tried. It didn't last long.
And the thing is, the crazy thing is you could go on the website and buy the convention exclusives. I got an ad for it like 2 days after the con. And because there's some things I was interested in, and I was like, I'm not gonna get a reservation because I like the Bitty City stuff that they're coming out with. But yeah, like some of it's just on the website, so I don't even know if they sold out of things. But they certainly
probably didn't. They probably didn't, to be honest with you, like because everybody goes for very specific ones that they think are either going to be rare and they'll be able to flip, or ones that they've been clamoring and chopping at the bit for. Like back in the day, when they would open up the Funko booth in the last like hour of the show, I remember I grabbed like a Kitty Pryde, as an example, because that was a show floor exclusive, and I don't think they've done a kitty since. If they have, it's not the same type that came with Lockheed, and I think I lost the Lockheed. But
You
whatever.
lost Lockheed. I remember you were like, "I'll take yours, Kris," and I'm like, "No, you won't."
Yeah, no. But either way, like, you know, that was a show floor exclusive that I did because they opened up at the end. What were you gonna say, Raph, about them not selling anymore? I hope you were gonna tell me that they don't, because that would be funny.
You're talking about Funko?
Yeah, Funko. Yeah, like, were you gonna
Oh
say?
no, I was saying I out of curiosity, just for the shits and giggles, I got on the line for it.
Mhm.
It was like one of the lunch hours at work, and I just hop on my phone and I connect, and then like it's like 12:15, I want to say, and it's like, oh, all the reservations are taken, and I'm like, I'm not surprised. And honestly, I'm looking at some of the exclusives right now.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Batman ones, and there's an Ultron one. I think they're kind of lame, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they've run out of ideas. That's
Give me.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Where's my Darkhawk pop?
Oh,
There's
God.
never been a Darkhawk pop.
Well, you can go ahead and request that. They'll make one just for you.
Okay,
and
great. Thank you.
It'll be great. Yeah. Well, the fact that a Ms. Marvel pop, and I'm sure they've come out with other ones since. Of course, they have a MCU version of it, but the original Ms. Marvel pop was a Walgreens exclusive.
I have it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah,
I bought it from the Walgreens right by Diamond.
it's ridiculous.
It is. It's like I'm just kind of astonished because they very much have like a Beanie Babies feel to it, and I'm surprised it hasn't burned itself out.
I know.
Though, as you know, like analyzing it, you can see that they seem to be running out of ideas based on the fact that, you know, like the stuff they're offering. Like, again, they're leaning into the mini the bitty pops. Which are like the tiny, they're like, oh, you don't have room for regular size ones? Well, we sell tiny ones now, which I was not feeling until we were at Toy Fair and we saw that giant ass diorama. And I was like, well, shit, now you've appealed to like my inner, like, you know, like old lady, love miniatures stuff. Which, by the way, I bought the Fortress of Solitude bitty pop. And it came, the one they sent me that I got from Amazon was all kind of warped. So if Raph wants it, he could have a warped Fortress of Solitude. Yeah.
There was a Superman there's a Superman exclusive that I kind of want. I think it's the Kingdom Come, but I have a Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just kind of surprised that, like, but you can see that they're definitely trying to expand on other things. Like they did a video game, the video game failed. What are the other things they've been doing? Why am I not remembering? Oh, they have the custom ones. Yeah, the board games and the customs.
yeah.
You can get a custom Funko Pop of yourself now.
They had
what I was looking at.
Yeah, they had a bundle of all of them. Literally, out of everything here, the only one that would have actually caught my interest was Havoc. Because,
no, look at that guy. Look at his hair. Look at his little crazy hair. He needs conditioner.
Actually, the Nimrod is kind of cool, and like I said, that floating Kingdom Come Superman is kind of cool.
Yeah,
the Powerpuff Girls are actually really interesting.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if you guys even noticed that.
They're superhero, you know, alter egos, basically.
Yeah. From the episode Super Zeros.
Yep.
And
The bunny, Bubbles is the bunny. I remember that.
Yeah.
Look specifically.
Yeah. But you know, all these are ever so slightly different than other pops that have come out before. I'm sure they have a Havoc. It might be his regular, you know, old school, you know, Silver Age one, and not his 90s hair. But still, I'm sure it exists. It's just, whatever. It's not my thing, and I'll leave it at that. What is my thing, though, is actually saying what publishers were on that part of the floor, because now that I have the map, I can't just be, you know, spitting and try to figure out what was actually there. But Vault, AWA, Mad Cave, IDW, Bad Idea, Comixology Originals, and DC, and there were a couple of other smaller publishers that were also thrown in there as well in that general area. Were all grouped into the far north area of the con, which was good because you could hit them all in one shot, which is probably good for their buying and hopefully their sales. I know DC. This is the first.
It's been. They said it was 14-year absence.
Yep.
Which is a crazy ass number. I'm like, oh my god, there were children who are not even born.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They stopped having a booth on the New York Comic Con floor when they left New York, or shortly thereafter. And
bastards.
it's been a long time without them. I'm glad to see that they were back. They had a huge presence at the con, both panels and location.
Yeah, and I think that's well, one, I wanted to say that I don't think having a comic publisher area would have worked if DC was not there to draw people to the booth.
Absolutely.
People were heading to the back of the hall to visit it, which meant it was the rising tide lifts all ships. So I think that's a big benefit. But yeah, so you mentioned, they had a big presence, and the thing is, so I did not go. I really wish I had gone now on Wednesday. They had the retailer summit.
Yeah.
And Jim Lee gave a very big speech at this retailer summit where he kind of outlined like a lot of principles and reaffirmed their commitment to publishers. This was published, they gave the transcript of it to The Beat, so you can read the whole thing on The Beat. I don't know, Ian's probably pulling it up right now. Feel free to read it once I am done giving my little spiel here. But I think that's how I knew DC was back.
Yes.
Was the fact that they had Jim Lee talking at this thing. Also, like, Todd McFarlane also gave a speech there, and I just thought it was the funniest thing because he kind of admitted he's not that good of an artist, and I thought that was just very funny. He also kind of side-eyed Rob Liefeld in the same speech. Ian will go over it. I'm looking at Ian talk. I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah. Well, the AI thing is interesting because you guys might remember last year, DC. Well, they did the right thing and they pulled the cover, but there was an artist, I think Francesco Manella might have been his name, that
Rob Granito?
Yes, thank you. Thanks a lot. Which, as a reminder, Raph fell for Rob Granito. I just want to point that out.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, back at
MegaCon 2008.
MegaCon 2008. You got some Granito stuff, and I still laugh about that to this very, very day.
I gave it to my ex's cousin, but also, hey, at least Rob actually claimed to have drawn that stuff and didn't, and it wasn't actually AI.
Yeah, Francesco Mattina, that was his name. Drew a couple of covers for DC at the time, and I'm going to bring up the Superman one in particular that people accused him of using AI because in particular the S don't look right, and people called him out on that, and DC wound up pulling the cover because like it just nothing's consistent about it. Like it very much looks like he used AI as part of the process of making it. We don't know if he made the whole thing that way, but it didn't look good. And at this, summit that happened on Wednesday, as Kris stated, Jim Lee affirmed that DC Comics will never use AI. Not now, not ever, as long as Andy Pius and I are in charge, it ain't happening. And I think that's very important. I think that at this particular point, as AI becomes more prevalent and more people use it as a tool, I think it's way easy to get something by and not realize until it's too late. And if they're at least going to do their best to try to police that, then I'm all for it. So we at Comic Timing are very anti-AI. It does not mean we are anti-technology. I will remind you, I am a technology reporter. I mean, at least supposedly. I don't know. My life is weird. But so like I think he made a good point in his speech because he was talking about like I actually pulled up the beat for it, where he said every era has its killer bees. You guys remember those? When I was a kid in the 70s, we were told swarms of killer bees were coming from South America to take over and ravage the world. Didn't happen. Then we were told Japan's booming miracle economy would overwhelm and crush all their rivals. Didn't happen. Then it was Y2K. Then I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but that's the thing. It's not just like this is the retailers' day where he's trying to make the retailers feel comfortable and remind them that the retailers. Yeah, I see Raph pull it out. Godzilla.
Yeah, it's just Look, it's Japan's economy. It's going to get us.
Yeah, but he's there to comfort the retailers and remind them how important they are because I am aware of the history and I grew up with comic shops and I know that they played a big role in that. So he's trying to comfort them. But I also think it's actually really savvy business wise because right now, and here's some technology reporter side of me talking, is the fact that right now these data centers that make all the AI stuff, that make AIs work, that make large language models and the art models and all that stuff work, are burning through resources so quickly. It's not just about like every time you make a request to ChatGPT, you're basically throwing out a bottle of water. It's the fact that they have to buy thousands and thousands of GPUs to power these things. And they burn through those GPUs in a matter of days sometimes. They are spending more money than they can pull in order to make back the money they have spent on all of those burnt out GPUs. Literally, like everyone on Earth would have to subscribe to ChatGPT at this point.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And people are not doing that. I mean, you're not obviously not getting the people in the third world, but even people in the first world, like the people who are using AI to like cheat on their homework are not paying for ChatGPT 4.0, 4. Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So right now, I think it is a good business move, even though you have people telling you your company should be getting into AI for a creative endeavor like DC Comics. I think it's very smart because you do not want to become even the slightest bit dependent on something that is very likely to implode.
And I have a very succinct quote from the futurism.com article I had up earlier. This is a quote that Jim had at this particular speech. People have an instinctive reaction to what feels authentic, he added. We recoil from what feels fake. That's why human creativity matters. AI doesn't dream, Lee argued. It doesn't feel. It doesn't make art. It aggregates it. And that is a huge point right there. When you put a prompt into AI and say, Batman punching Joker in the nads, it's gonna search its database. It's gonna find a picture of Batman that someone else drew, and it's going to manipulate it where it looks like a picture of Joker that may have very well been drawn by someone else entirely is getting punched in the nads, and it's going to create it, and you're going to say, wow, this looks so great, and you have no idea where that art came from in the first place. That's the type of thing that AI brings to the table, and it's something that DC very much does not want as part of their business plan right now, and I completely understand that.
So two things. One, I just saw this really great YouTube video about the failures of AI art. It basically, the first example the guy uses is he tells ChatGPT to make, or whatever AI, to make him an image of a full wine glass, completely full to the brim. And the AI can't do it because every single image of a wine glass it's sampled, the glass is always half full. Yeah. Because people don't fill a wine glass to the brim. So it can't imagine. And it can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It doesn't stop. It never stops. And that's the crazy thing is with the collective cultural history of our childhood. I always thought that computers would nuke us or use us for batteries or whatever. I didn't think they'd use it to fuck up my comic books.
and for
what
that,
the hell?
And to pollute my Facebook feed with reels of fake babies being feeding a raccoon and not realizing that it's a raccoon until after they feed it, and then running away. You can clearly see the word Sora, whatever the name of that generator.
Yeah, no, that is a thing they did specifically because people said, oh, we might not be able to tell the difference, and that's going to create a misinformation problem. Yeah. So it has to put that watermark. But the thing is, the watermark is so badly applied, there are already programs to remove the watermark.
Oh, of course.
It's so toxic.
It's the same way, like, when I have pictures taken of myself at Disney World, I know how to remove the watermarks from the Disney PhotoPass pictures and not pay Disney extra money on top of the money that I paid to get into the damn park. Like, there's very easy ways to get around that.
Yeah, no, what you said about how he can't get an image of a full wine glass. Because I've had a lot of detractors tell me you just need to learn how to write your prompts better. So I did this as an experiment. I used the ChatGPT does have an image generator now, and I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
give me a painting, like an oil painting of a bowl of fruit. There is a red drape backdrop. The bowl is blue. I want two apples, one orange, a banana, and a lime." Oh my God, it could not even do this basic thing. It would give me like three apples and it would give me like two limes, but they were orange because it thought they were the oranges. Like I just kept doing it over and over again and it never got it right, even though I gave it the most specific instructions. And I was just like, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of this.
Fine, I've given you what you want. It's right there. Come on. What do you mean? There's fruit.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't want to turn this into I'm sure if we were just going to bash on AI for 2 hours, we'd have to call in Jamal. Jamal would be upset.
Yeah, no, Jamal would be very, very upset if we didn't wait for him to just scream about AI for 2 solid.
So I do want to let's go to like the Jim Lee speech, because what he also talked about, also in addition to we are going to continue using human beings to make products for human beings, was he also talked about the fact that Superman is going to be public domain soon.
Yes.
And he reaffirmed that like we are still going to be the best place to get a Superman story.
Yes, that is
true.
true.
Say that now, Jim.
Well,
you haven't met me.
Once again, as Disney made perfectly clear when Steamboat Willie went public domain, Golden Age Superman is what's going to be public domain. Like that original version of Superman with the triangle S that was very small and gold on the chest with with a similar yet different Superman outfit. That is what's going to be public domain. So
right.
you could easily see that show up and stuff, and that's fine. But like, there's characters they won't be able to use. Like Lex Luthor will not be able to be used. Like Jimmy Olsen won't be able to be used. I don't even know if Lois Lane will be part of that.
Lois will be because she's in Action Comics #1.
Got it. Okay.
Perry, I don't. An editor of the Daily Star can be used. I don't remember if he was Perry White at that point.
Okay. All right. Got it. Yeah.
But I'm going to do it, and I'm telling you, you guys are going to love All-Star Superman 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Boogaloo.
Yeah. Owning Superman isn't the same as understanding Superman. Those were Lee's exact.
Yeah, that's a weird
thing. Okay, Jim, you think I don't understand Superman, Jim?
I'm just gonna say that is a weird thing to say when we could argue. And again, you guys have a 3-hour episode about Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I know.
Like, does Zack Snyder actually understand Superman? It's a weird flex for Jim to make.
However,
Jimothy, Jamantha.
Raph, I want to know when you're going to start making your Action Comics #1 Superman horror movie, because immediately when Winnie the Pooh and characters of that ilk went into the public domain, immediately someone made their horror movie about.
I've already pitched Blumhouse. They couldn't stop laughing, so I'll give them another call later.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good sign. Like, again, I think his point stands on that. The fact that when Winnie the Pooh became public domain, the best thing anyone could think of is like, oh, I'm going to make a horror movie.
Yeah.
And then Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie was public domain. Oh, I'm going to make a horror movie. And they're not exactly making good horror movies. Like,
no,
if you were to you rattle off the best horror movies of the past few years, and it's not even. It's below sea level at that point.
The public domain aspect of it is incredibly limiting. Like if you wanted to do like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type movie and put Golden Age Superman in there, you might be able to get away with it with public domain. But
I mean,
that may still be legal trouble.
If Alan Moore wants to do League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 3 or 4, whatever volume we were up to, I think it was 3 volumes, so 4. You can always put Golden Age Superman in there if he really wanted to.
I think he's done.
Enough Superman.
He's done enough Superman. He's also done enough League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Quite frankly, I don't think Alan Moore's making any more comics at this point. Foot and mouth, for all I know, I'm gonna be proven wrong. But
he said he quit.
Yeah.
And why do people keep asking him stuff? I don't care. Let him retire.
Well, that's the way I feel about many creators, quite frankly. Like, I'm not the biggest current John Byrne fan for multiple reasons, but Marvel wants to give him money to publish his fanfic, so more power to him. He also just won a Hall of Fame award at the Harveys at New York Comic Con, which he's well deserving of. And frankly, I hope he enjoys that. He is a luminary of the industry. X-Men wouldn't be what they are without both Claremont and Byrne, and Claremont already has his. So more power to Byrne on receiving said Hall of Fame entry.
He made Nicholas Hoult Lex Luthor pretty much.
Oh, absolutely.
He is an important person in the industry, but not anymore. Not in his current form.
Also, they gave it to Peter David, unfortunately after his death. So he is now in the Harvey's Hall of Fame, as is Wendy and Richard Peeney, Barbara Sherman, and Patrick McDonnell. Those were the full list of Hall of Famers for this particular year. Of course, Patrick McDonnell of Mutts, and Wendy and Richard of ElfQuest. So, all well deserving of it. Barbara Sherman was actually the first woman comic to work for the New Yorker. So that's awesome that she's now been inducted in that fashion. So good for them. I'm just going to run through the Harveys real quick just because I mentioned it. And then we'll move on from there because nobody wants to hear me read a whole bunch of people and what they won. But Book of the Year was Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, which I now own the first copy of, and I'm going to check that out. Digital Book of the Year was Sarah Scribbles by Sarah Anderson, which is one of my favorite things to read on the entire internet.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that her literal scribbles, XKCD style, have worked very well for her.
She's a better artist than
Random
Monroe because it's stick figures. Yeah. He actually draws.
Yes. Very simple and expressive, even with just like baby faces. So it's well done. Best children's book, Cartoonist Club by Raina Telgemeier and Scott McCloud. Okay. Yep. Raina Telgemeier. Enough said, baby. Best young adult book was Raised by Ghosts by Brianna Lowenson out of Fantagraphics. Best manga, Witch Hat Atelier. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Atelier.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's Atelier.
Atelier.
I mean, at least that's what I've heard. And then we get the actually comment, right? No, I'm pretty sure it's Atelier. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's out of Kodansha, translated by Stephen Kohler. And then Best International Comic was Black Sad because it always fucking wins. Moving on. When has Black Sad not won Best International Comic? Like, come on, let's be real.
When has Black Sad won? I don't know what wins. What wins Best International Comic?
I swear to God, Black Sad has won multiple times, and this is now Black Sad. They All Fall Down Part 2 by Juan Diaz-Canal and Juanjo Guanido, translated by Diana Schutz and Brandon Kander. And best adaptation from comic book / graphic novel, a nice small independent movie known as Superman. So,
yep.
Oh my God, I've never heard of it.
What a great small fan film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Just like a bunch of college students and their professor James Gunn. What a great.
I hear it's in the public domain. Anyway,
I've only seen it 17 times at this point.
Oh man.
I just looked it up. Black Sad won last year, but the 3 years before that, no.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Mind you, this is like the Wikipedia thing. It only has 2020 to now, which is not that helpful to me, but okay.
Close enough. There were a bunch of announcements at New York Comic Con, but before we get to that, let's get to some of the panels that we attended and some of the other various experiences that we got to experience at New York Comic Con. Raph, I'll start it off with you because I know you went to a couple that we didn't. What'd you get to check out?
Well, let me see if I can remember. So the first major panel I remember is Friday. Mm-hmm. 11 in the morning. I went to see my homeboy Simu Liu and Meng Erdong, who played Xu Xiaoling in Shang-Chi. They did a Shang-Chi panel. They talked about their experience on the movie. on filming the original movie. Simu did a great job, a much better job than a Tom Holland or a Mark Ruffalo in dodging questions. Because man, I can't wait to see him maybe or maybe not interacting with Patrick Stewart, or may or may not interacting with Ian McKellen, and maybe or maybe not having a dialogue with him, or maybe not fighting some other characters in this movie he might or might not be in. It's so exciting. But it was actually really nice because for two things really. One, the sibling chemistry between the two of them is really like super apparent as soon as they both got on stage together. They act like brother and sister. It's really cute. It's very, very endearing.
Nice.
And secondly, for Simu is such a humble dude.
He's
and
always
I really
like
love
that.
him.
Yeah.
And like him, listening to him talk about how he's in therapy and how he's dealt with adversity, and how, he said like before his big break in Shang-Chi, his parents thought they would be taking care of him for the rest of his life, and now they're on vacation in Italy while he's working his ass off on Avengers, maybe or maybe not doing things. And it was nice to I mean, that's the first movie I saw in theaters after COVID for for more than once, right? I saw it 5 times in theater. This was my Black Panther, right? This was my Black Panther, and it's just really nice to go to. This is like my first movie panel where I got to like see the star, because I don't usually go to panels. I mean, you guys know that. Like before this year, I mean, I was there one day a week, so I usually go to comic panels, and like I usually go to fan stuff. Usually, I don't even get to like make it to like those big like TV show movie panels, but this one was a smaller one. It was nice. I my disability access got me in a pretty good seat, and I think that's the only one I did without you guys, because the only ones Star Trek, X-Men,
Did you
AEW.
didn't you go to like a RPG panel or something like that, or did you wind up skipping that?
I didn't make it in time.
Okay,
that was on Thursday. That was Critical Role. They showed off a trailer for their new Mighty Nine animated series on Amazon, and I just missed it because I like sleeping in.
No, and as do I, and that's another thing that I point out. I mentioned it on the extra point that I put out, that I don't exactly rush to New York Comic Con to get there at opening. I will gladly stroll in at noon or 1 when for one thing, I don't have to wait on a line to enter the con usually when I walk in at that time. But if you're going to put a panel at 10 a.m., chances are I'm not going to be there, because I'm not staying in a hotel down the block from the Javits. Wait, what am I kidding? There's nothing down the block from the Javits. Anyway,
3 blocks from Javits, really. That's the
4 blocks down from Javits is probably as close as you could probably wind up getting. But I'm coming in from the Bronx, and it's gonna take me a solid hour, and I like sleep, so that's what I wound up doing myself for the most part. On Thursday, the one panel that I wound up hitting up, and Kris, you were there for this as well. Raph and our friend David wound up joining us for this. And this is something that also brings me to a point that I actually was thoroughly impressed with how diverse and interesting the panel slate was this year. Like there were a whole bunch of different options for just about anybody this year. The one in particular that we did attend on Thursday, piggybacking off that point, was Unmasking Jewish Identity in the Marvel Universe, featuring Jenny Kaplan, Sasha Kaplan, one spelled with a C and one spelled with a K. Ray Schwartz,
very, very Cavalier and Clay.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Ray Schwartz and the one and only Danny Fingeroth, famous for many years working for Marvel Comics.
The creator of Darkhawk.
I was going to let you say that, so thank you very much for adding that in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Worked for many years, with Stan himself and Roy and basically the entire Marvel bullpen. And it went into the actual Jewish history of Marvel with some deviations here and there. Sasha Kaplan went on what felt like a 20-minute rant on how the Marvel Cinematic Universe has not actually had Jewish representation even when they had Ben Grimm be Jewish in a movie. I respectfully disagree with her on that, but she is more than welcome to her opinion on that situation. I think they did a really good job with Ben Grimm and Fantastic Four, as you all heard in.
I think they kept it light. I mean, I'm not trying to change the topic here, but they kept it light because I don't think we really focus on religion that much anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Like Kamala Khan, Kamala, remembering which Kamala like I'm talking about is always confusing.
Yeah.
But no, that was a fun panel. I remember she asked people like, "Oh, can you name some Jewish characters?" And we said Donald Duck, and she shot that down. And I'm still mad because, yeah, I'm sure in old comic books or whatever, Donald, and in the cartoons, Donald like celebrates Christmas. But I'm pretty sure in the year of our Lord, and yeah, I said that on purpose, 2025, Donald Duck is just meant to be Jewish now.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, he vacations in Florida in order to avoid the cold weather of Christmas time, and he misses out on Christmas every year because he's vacationing in Florida. Donald Duck is Jewish. The end.
And like. Yeah, well, there's that. And in that short, it's not even a short, it's like a half hour long. It's called Duck the Halls. You can find it on Disney Plus. And it's that when he tries to not go to Florida, he literally starts to rot, which has got to be some kind of metaphor for like Jews celebrating Christmas or whatever. I don't know. Ian could pontificate on that. I will, yeah.
No,
I will also point out the Funko Pop of Donald, the holiday one, has the dreidel in his hand.
Yes, it does.
So.
Yeah. That doubles down on that, most definitely. Yeah. Kris, I forget. Did you attend the Vertigo panel?
Okay. So it's like trying to remember what I did every day. So you talk about panels. The first panel I actually went to on Thursday was at noon. It was for, as I said, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the new Game of Thrones universe, as they call it, like TV show. It's based on 3 novellas, not even full books. It takes place 100 years before the main show. That was actually kind of a fun panel. They had both the stars of the show, which includes a child who is now 11, and he was 9 when they shot the show. And I am not entirely convinced that was a child. It might have just been a little person because he is so well spoken. I was like, it was, what's the word? Precocious.
Yeah.
Like, I have not seen a child that precocious in years. It was a little unsettling, but it was kind of nice. Like, it wasn't even full. I was really shocked by that, but that's because it was Thursday, and it was, one of the earlier panels, noon, not that early, but early enough. And, we could talk about this a little more later, but Thursday, I feel like, it used to be the quiet day, and now it's the day that everybody's going to the floor.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the artist alley, as Jamal attested to that, as did a bunch of other artists that I was talking to at the artist alley. Thursday and Friday were the biggest chokes. Saturday was actually easier to get around the artist alley than it was any other day because people were elsewhere at the big Marvel panels or other parts of New York Comic Con itself. Like they may have had their badges, but they weren't doing nearly as much buying on Saturday. Sunday was a choke all over again, but that's everybody getting last minute deals and trying to grab books before the artists are gone and stuff like that. So
yeah, I can't remember what day the Vertigo panel was. I just remember I think I ducked out of whatever I was in with you guys to go quickly to the Vertigo thing. And that's when they announced the new slate. Some people in the audience were excited. I wasn't like freaking out. Mind you, I already got there late. And I just want to say this. I will apologize because like I get into the room. The room's pretty full, which is great. That's fantastic. It's not completely full. They were still letting people in. But like, so I just like, let me find a seat, and, so I don't make a lot of noise. So I just grabbed the seat in the front, which was the VIP seating. So when all the artists and writers had to sit back down, I basically had to dive out of the VIP seats. And I apologized to the dude whose foot I stepped on while I was doing that.
Nice.
So I just want to get that. But I mean, that was nice that they were doing this event. And like, that's how New York Comic Con might be like trying to be more comics oriented. And having DC return, means they're willing to have panels like that, where they announce that they're bringing back this beloved line. Its heyday was the 90s when it was, really starting up. And, and it, like, mind you, it like faded in prominence until they finally murdered it, which is just sad.
Yeah. It is
Yeah,
a much better. It's a much better wine name than DC Black Label too. Like,
Yeah. I don't know what.
Well, Black Label mostly just tells you, oh, this is grown up, dirty stuff. And like Vertigo is never just about being like having, tits and ass or having people say fuck.
Yes.
It was about like bigger ideas, about being weird, about being comics for like, the goth kids. I will just note, I meant to mention to you, Ian, earlier. I finally read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
And I loved it. I loved it. I also think it feels like a Vertigo comic.
Yes, it does. 100%.
It probably would have been in some other time or place. Like if it did have Supergirl in it, it would have just been straight up a Vertigo type comic.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to getting again. Yeah, they like Ian pulled up the list here. We got Bleeding Hearts, End of Life, The Peril of the Brutal Dark, 100 Bullets is back. Brian Azzarello. Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy, Necretaceous, with Derek Robertson. Necretaceous, thank you, Raph. With Derek Robertson doing the art. Fanatic, The Crying Doll, with Mariko Tamaki as the writer.
Yep.
And A Walking Shadow. And like, yeah, it's like a mix of people you've heard of. Like I just said, I read off some of the names. And then like people, I'll be honest, I'm not really familiar with them, but that's fine because one of the things Vertigo is known for is like that's how we met a lot of these people we love.
Oh, sure.
Now.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't their first American work, because I say that's how basically our British invasion came in.
Yeah.
Like even when it wasn't their first American work, that's where we started. We really became familiar with Grant Morrison and Garth Ennis. Neil Gaiman predates Vertigo, but like Sandman was one of the things they used to launch Vertigo. So it'd be nice to see if they can somehow like bring that prestige back.
So two of the books that you just mentioned are about zombies. Bleeding Hearts sounds a lot like one of my favorite movies, Warm Bodies, where a zombie discovers his heart beating again, threatening his place in a society where death reigns supreme. So it's a little
Starring
bit
Lex Luthor
on it. No, well, yes, I know. Starring the actor, yes, indeed. But Necretaceous literally sounds like it was made for me, and that's the one with Derek in it. That's he's doing the artwork for. Scientists attempt to time travel to stop a zombie virus, only to land 66 million years in the past among dinosaurs. So, like, you're trying to stop a zombie virus. There's time travel. There's dinosaurs. Like, this just sounds great.
That feels like a Mad Libs story.
It kind of does.
Also now with like reading the description, I'm like, oh, of course it's Necretaceous. I'm an idiot who just didn't remember how to pronounce it. I'm like,
yeah.
Mind you, I was busy diving over a chair when they were
understand.
talking about it, trying not to be in anybody's way. Like that's the thing with panels is like you want to be able to sneak in and not bother anybody, and you want to be able to sneak out if you're leaving early.
Oh, it's not Vertigo. The Swamp Thing news. That
was when I came in.
Yeah.
Like they were still talking about the titles, and then they sent everybody back to their seats, and then they brought up this huge news where they are going to finally print the missing issues of Swamp Thing from the 1988 run.
Yeah. Rick Veitch. It's basically when Swamp Thing met Jesus. That's a thing. But it's long since been in a drawer somewhere, and now we're finally going to get that under the DC Black Label imprint, according to this. So Black Label is still existing in one form or another, but we are going to be getting this along with a Swamp Thing is Killing the Children book, which is essentially a crossover between Swamp Thing and Something is Killing the Children. So whole bunch of Swamp Thing news came out of
because I think they mentioned that there were going to be some trades as well, because this will be collected when this is collected. This Swamp Thing, 88 is collected. They will pop it on the end of the previous collections as well.
Excellent.
Which will be nice. I mean, again, I could have misheard that, but I was like, this is really cool. Like, and I love that. I didn't even realize. I said it's not even just the original trade dress. They're going to have the original ads as well.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't even know how you make that work from a licensing perspective, but that sounds cool. I guess if somebody bought the ads, then they still technically can just put them in there.
I guess.
I
It's
mean,
like,
I wonder, do you refund people when that happens? Like, what? I guess it's
I have no idea how
Not
that
sure.
would work. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, hey, Mr. Chad Burdette joining us here for the rest of the episode. Welcome back to the show, Chad. It's been fucking forever.
I know, and usually we meet up on the floor at New York Comic Con, but somehow we missed each other this year.
It happened to me with a lot of people, to be honest with you. Like, by the time I got to Brent Schoonover's booth, he was gone. I never really had the opportunity to meet up with Sal this year at the Alex Roth booths because it was always mobbed. But you know, I there's always like a 50% chance on whether or not I'm going to run into people that I know or not know on the floor, considering there's 100,000 other people all around.
Oh no! Did you see the numbers?
What was it?
Hold on. I believe it was 250,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
God damn.
Attendance. Let me just double check that because I like being accurate.
Yeah, no, please, by all means, man. But
Yeah.
Chad, I mean, one of the reasons why
Oh, yep. Quarter million.
250,000 shit.
Jesus.
God damn.
In
What
that
are the-
piece of shit convention center. Actually, it's not that bad now.
No, it still sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, North
That-
is nice. North is nice. The rest
North,
of it, I could.
yeah,
go
North
out.
is gorgeous. I have said repeatedly, the rest of Javits needs a gut renovation. They need to figure out, like, my biggest pet peeve besides the bathrooms. You don't need to hear me talk about the bathrooms again, but you know how much I hate the bathrooms.
Yes.
It's when you have to go downstairs and it's the escalators. It's like that skinny little escalator goes down and the skinny little escalator goes up, and there's no stairs to go up or down, and they can't even put in stairs because there's a giant support pillar in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if only I could somehow magic away the support pillar and just put in some goddamn stairs.
Well, clearly the architects were thinking very much about flow and crowd control when maybe they weren't at all. Maybe they just made it however the hell they felt like it, and that's what we have to deal with. It's New York, baby. We have one convention center and it sucks. Let's just deal with it.
I think the issue with a lot of convention centers is that they're built to be modular, so they can be cut up, so there can be multiple shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Because these large scale shows really did not exist.
No.
And now they do, and you are seeing more convention centers being built for that stuff. Because, like, I think McCormick, which is a newer convention center, was built for larger scale shows.
Yeah.
But then you look at the Javits and, like, Baltimore Convention Center. I hate
That's why I was going to
Baltimore.
mention that. Yeah.
It's a beautiful convention center, but it is not built for scale.
And by the way,
the area is nice too, but not.
by the time this episode is out, Jamal will be at Baltimore Comic Con. So those of you who are going to be there this weekend and happen to be listening to this on the Friday when this is being released, go to Baltimore Comic Con and buy Jamal's stuff. There you go. All right, enough said. Chad, I wanted to get you on because you're of all of us, you're the one who probably attended the most as press, and I'm wondering how.
A little bit.
Oh, un poquito.
I don't know if I've ever paid for a New York Comic Con badge, Ian.
I know, but you weren't, but you weren't, talking to people,
Fair.
next cast this time around,
Fair enough.
Yeah, all we were doing was eating Invincible versus pizza on Thursday night, but that's
It was some good ass pizza though. It was
Oh my
good
God.
pizza. Even if it was cold, it was good.
Oh.
That was the after party pop up.
Yeah, we went down the Prince, actually not Prince Street. We went down to Bowery, and there's a hotel right on Bowery that was having an after party Invincible versus event where you got to, those of us who play video games were there to experience Invincible versus for the first time. Those of us who like pizza and free booze were eating pizza and drinking free booze. So that's what we wound up doing.
We were supposed to go to that, but my two roommates were lazy and didn't want to, go all the way. Well, we were supposed to go down to the 23rd Street Press after event, but it was like 5 to 7, which I don't know why you have an after party start at 5 o'clock when the convention is still going on.
I know.
And it was like a hour walk down to the end of the island, and so we'd been up since 5 o'clock, so we were just toast.
sometimes you just gotta call an audible and actually get some sleep. So yes, I understand that.
But
Speak.
I was going to say, but the Scholastic Party Friday night was awesome as it was last year, and then Saturday night we went to the Titan, a girl called Cthulhu party, which was on a boat. It was the boat is docked, but it was on a boat, and there was free beer and some food. They had trouble keeping the food up, but it was still a fun party, and we got free cloaks.
Ooh.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. No, we went to I got like every invite. I wanted to go to that Scholastic party that was Friday night. I didn't go to last year because I don't remember what happened. Something happened. This year it was because I saw they were showing All You Need Is Kill. So
Mhm.
me and Ian went to that instead.
Yep.
But yeah, like this is something I wanted to bring up in general, and like Chad would know this pain is the fact that you always feel with different shows, there's always like a trend. What is every company doing?
Mhm.
And like last year, I was just swamped with interviews, as anyone who listened to that episode. And if you have not listened to that episode, you can hear all the different interviews I was either performed or was part of. This year was like offside party, offside party, offside party, offside party. And that's very San Diego to me.
Oh yeah.
San Diego's all
Yes.
about the off-site parties and the activations. Like San Diego, I think the last time I went, which was 2013, so it was a long ass time ago. I remember going to oh yes, Assassin's Creed 4 rented out a pirate ship. You want to go check out the pirate ship? Yes, I want to check out a pirate ship. The last time Ian was there, we tried to go to the Tron party, but it
Oh
closed
my God.
early, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous. Like Chad just said, when the con is still going on. And we were like, well, they didn't put an end time on this, so it'll probably be till midnight. It was not until midnight. It was
No.
probably ended at like 10 o'clock, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this year, yeah, so we did, the first thing we did was the BioWorld party.
Mhm.
It was BioWorld and Viz. Viz was hosting a little gathering at a rooftop bar.
Yep.
And I tell you, you get an opportunity to go to a rooftop in New York City, you take it.
Oh hell
Like
yeah.
even as a New Yorker, I'm like, no, you do that shit. That was interesting. It was just drinks though. So then obviously Ian was like, we have to go to the Invincible party and get
Well,
pizza.
let's also mention the fact that bartender was doing a masterful job of mixing drinks. Like that man knew his craft. That shit was like on point. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking poetry.
I do have a picture of the drink here, so I'll share that for everybody on the YouTube side. But like that they had branded ice for this freaking panel. I mean for
That's
for this
cool.
party, and that was the view that we had at the top of the roof. So like straight view of Empire State as the sun was setting in New York City. Like yeah, you take that opportunity and you run with it.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed the parties. I mean, but last year we went to the Thrill Joy party, and that one, good thing it was near Tarrant Hotel because I could hardly walk back.
Yeah. Aye. Yeah. But a reminder: if you're gonna have a party, please have both drinks and food.
Yeah.
I know you're looking for people to get lit and have a good back and forth with everybody and whatnot, but these were potent tequila drinks, and there was no food to be had.
I think the point is that for you to leave because you get hungry. Like
Yes.
they want you gone. They don't want people camping because they want to be able to have more people come into the venue.
Yeah.
At the BioWare party, like people were leaving because I think they were feeling the same thing. Like, I'm pretty drunk and I need to go get something to eat.
Yep.
My biggest issue is I don't think you can do offsite stuff in New York the way you do in San Diego. Because San Diego, the Gaslamp district, is kind of self-contained in its own way. Everything is walking distance. I mean, everything is walking distance in New York if you try hard enough.
That is
but
true.
I'm not gonna do that to people who are not from the city. Like we walked.
That's why I didn't go to 23rd Street Press. It was like,
yeah.
I would have gone, but I don't know the subway system that well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we took the subway. I traveled to the Scholastic thing on the subway with some other friends in the press. But had they not been going that way, I would have had to wait for my roommates to finish up their interviews and stuff, and then go with them. But Scholastic is a great party. Always go.
Yeah. The Invincible party as well also had surprise Instagram DJ.
Well, it wasn't a surprise. It was listed in the invite. Let's make that clear.
I know.
This was a cool party because they had the free pizza. We got free beer because it wasn't just to promote the game, as well as the fact that they introduced the Cecil is going to be a character in this game.
Yes.
But also to promote the collaboration that they're doing, Voodoo Ranger, who's got like their beer and mind you, they don't even have the cans for it.
No,
they were just pouring out of these blank cans. It was kind of unsettling.
Yeah, let me show let me find the mock-up of the can, and yes, there's a picture of Kris and the pizza that we were eating as well. But let's see if I can find it here. There we go. That's what the can is actually going to look like, or at least that's what the prototype of the can is going to look like when it's actually made. But yes, the cans they were pouring out of just had written on in marker "Invincible Verses" on them, and they were only pouring.
It was charmingly get to.
It was, yeah.
But like the thing is, once you're, especially if you, I mean, the thing is, it's one thing if you're staying in a hotel like Chad is. If you are like us, where you have to go, home, and it's like an hour away, once you've left the convention center area, you don't usually want to come back.
No.
So once we walked over to the BioWare party, which was close to Times Square, and then we had to go downtown. And we're downtown. I mean, even if it wasn't already late, which it was getting late, I'm not going back to the convention center.
No, of course not.
That's the thing. And that's the thing with the Scholastic party is I know once I go to this party, I'm not returning to the convention center because I'm already in Soho. I'm just going to go walk over to Broadway Lafayette and get on my train and go home and take a nap and, sleep, eat, watch King of the Hill or whatever,
Yeah.
Because they had the comic sketch kind of get together at the Javits up in the River Pavilion Thursday night too, and so but we would have had to go back to the convention center.
No, absolutely, yeah, and that's like for instance, the pro. I think that's what you talk about, the pro gathering for professionals, artists, press, and all that jazz. I did it 2 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, you have to still be there, otherwise. There ain't no going back. Like, come on. Unless you're literally a stop away on the 7 to then make your ass back to to Hudson Yards area. Like it's not happening. And that's at least one benefit to New York Comic Con the past couple of years is anybody remember when they would have events at Hammerstein? Because North wasn't built yet. So there were a whole bunch of quote unquote main events that would be taking place at Hammerstein Ballroom, and you'd have to walk all the way over to Hammerstein, go to that, and then walk back.
Schlep all the way back.
Exactly. Like the one time I ever did it was I went there first and then went to the con because I think it was an Adventure Time panel.
Yeah, it's like one thing. You'll do one thing at the show, which is I think probably the point because you want to do crowd control. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have to just constantly have to worry about this churn of people. Like, someone's going to go to the Hammerstein, they'll see their panel, and then they go to convention, and they're not coming back. Mm-hmm. And that's actually good in a way because you've split your crowd and you don't have to worry about like that overcrowding, or people trying to camp in the room or any of that other stuff. So, I sort of get it, but it is so much nicer. Which, by the way, I forgot that there were 2 basically main stages now because there's the Empire stage and then there's the Hall C. I don't even know what it's called now.
Main and Empire. That's basically.
Yeah, I forgot. I went to the Night of the Seven Kingdoms and I walked to the main events hall first, and the guy's like, "What are you here for?" And I was like, Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm in the wrong room, and he's like, yeah, it's an Empire. And I'm like, I am old because I remember when this was the only main events hall. And it's like, yeah, you're tired. I mean, mind you, it's new and it's not that early, but I'm like still kind of out of it. Like my brain's not working.
Well, your event would have been at Hammerstein before North was built. Like that's probably where it would have been. So
that room was not even full.
Oh man, damn, yeah. But I
like.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I like the fact that they had the River Pavilion for like the pro and press lounge which made it easy to interview people over there. But then they had the panel over there going on sometimes at the same time, and it was like, we're trying to do an interview here.
Yeah, glad you brought that up, Chad, actually, because I was really annoyed that there were panels you could only attend if you had a professional badge. I simultaneously understand it and am a little bit annoyed that they were in the regular app, and unless you understood what the actual language of it said when you were looking up the panel, because it would be like, like pro river or whatever as the stage designation. There were one or two panels that I wanted to attend that I didn't realize were there until I was already walking over it. And I'm like, oh, right, River Pavilion, damn, because I was a plebe with a 4-day, so there was no getting into it,
What the fuck? I used to work in the industry. Let me in.
I mean,
Let me in. Do you not know who I am? My name is Raph. You guys, the fucking industry knows who I am. What the fuck?
Okay. Listen, Raph. Everybody knows who you are. All right, settle down.
Yes,
settle down.
Thank you.
Settle down. Trust me. Literally everybody knows. Trust me. I will run into somebody randomly in Kentucky, and they'll somehow know who you are. Like it's.
So actually, this is what I wanted to bring up before when we were talking about I think how welcoming comic book stores are to women.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh shit.
So this goes back to the con actually. So on Thursday,
should I grab some whiskey? All right. Anyway, continue.
When I started my day, I met up with my friend Patricia, who is a former customer of mine at Midtown Comics, and then we met up with David, and David asks, "Oh, how do you know Raph?" Well, she said that I was the only person. I was one of the only people at the store that treated her normal.
Wow.
And she said as soon as when I left for Diamond, she stopped going to the store because the people there sucked.
Midtown Comics. Get your comics at Midtown Comics. Okay. Anyway.
Listen, I love you, Jay. You're the man. Yeah. You're one of the good parts that's left there. Mm-hmm. But the I bring this up because my friend Kat, who you've all met, we are friends because she came into the store and she asked me a question about X-Men, and I answered her question without any sort of flirtation or creeping or anything like that. Yeah. And now we've been friends for 16 years.
You didn't go into a 10-minute dissertation?
No. I didn't try to. I asked her who her favorite characters were, and I asked why, and I just left it at that. And I said, "Cool, that I appreciate that." Yep. And so that leads me also to my friend in Artist Alley, Courtney, who very briefly we decided to work on a comic together, and then it didn't work out. But that's fine; it happens, creative differences and all that. But she was there in Artist Alley promoting her webcomic Honey Lemon on Webtoon. Really good comic, by the way. And she was there with her friend who was watching a boot for it, and she introduces me to her. Oh yeah, this is Raph. We met at Midtown Comics. He was the only person there that treated me like a human being.
Jesus Christ!
And I'm starting to see this pattern here. So we were talking about comics and how comic stores are more welcoming.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Raph. You need to really make business cards. And have
I will treat you like a human being here.
Exactly. Just put that right there on the business card, because clearly that has to be something that needs to be specifically stated about you, that you treat people like human beings.
What a crazy concept. But anyway, so the point so just to bounce off that point, because I was going to talk about it as we were talking about like what we did. It's funny to me to listen to have now heard. Not just these three people, but a couple of other women comic book fans in my life just say this about me, and the standards at which we had comic book stores at 10, 15 years ago, which is 900 trillion miles below hell, and to tie that in now, people do feel more welcome. In fact, like I sometimes I watch a TikTok of I follow these two TikTokers who are like younger women, like in their like early 20s, I want to say, who read comics and they talk about comics. And there's a cosplayer on Instagram I follow, and she's like a 18-year-old like Japanese American, woman who loves comics. And I'm like, and she loves Cassandra Cain, one of my favorites, one of Dono's favorites. And then also like there's a YouTube channel I found where it's like this college this Asian girl in college, and it's literally her going and talking in her car, going into the shop, buying her comics and talking about what she read. Like, it's there, and it's gotten better, and there are women in the space that feel comfortable enough to have an online presence and not feel that they're constantly harassed, although they may be. I don't know. I'm just assuming that they feel despite the harassment, they're comfortable enough to keep doing their content creation. I don't like that phrase, but anyway.
Well, it feels soulless.
It does.
Yeah, I am not a content creator. I am a D&D game runner, and I am a comic book talker, and I do stuff.
What if I told you could get a badge for New York Comic Con?
Well, then I have the sweetest and juiciest content for you. Just like and subscribe.
I thought that was interesting. Is that so? When you go into the Javits Center and you have the escalators that go up, and there's like that platform, and then there's the stairs and the escalators that go up to the River Pavilion and the Crystal Palace. And the platform, half of it was like roped off, and it said you can't come in here unless you're a content creator.
Yes.
Like you had to have the specific badge for content creators.
That's fascinating.
In fairness, I mean, I kind of get it, because they want people to be able to take nice videos in what is, unarguably probably the nicest point in the entire convention center.
And a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/@comictimingpodcast. If you're not subscribed to the channel, let's grow it big enough where we can all get ourselves those badges. And except for Kris, she's already pressed, but still, either way.
I'm an influencer.
Until they get tired of my shit.
Yeah. And I'll also bring up Comic Timing, episode 195, Comic Shops, St. Mark's, and Show Notes. A reminder about one of my favorite episodes of the show that we ever did. If you want to talk about a comic shop that we did not like because they didn't treat people like human beings, that is all for you right there.
Oh, that's when the original St. Mark's closed, right?
That was when the original St. Mark's closed. Yeah.
And it came back like a zombie.
I can't say anything about the current St. Mark's and people who work there, but we all had responses.
They are one of the organizations / people behind the Brooklyn Independent Comic Showcase. So I can't be mad about that.
Okay.
So, fun fact, and I think I've mentioned this before, I am friends with a bunch of the women that have worked at St. Mark's Comics, like quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I will say that St. Mark's did regularly at least employ women.
That's true.
Yes.
That's
so
true.
I remember it was either the Village Voice or the New York Press, Village Voice had a piece about like, best comic shop in New York, and they mentioned St. Mark's, and they're like, yeah, because they have those like surly goth girls that hate you.
Like, I know some of them.
That's not an improvement.
Yeah, and Raph knows some of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, bringing it.
Who do I know? Bringing
it back to the con and stuff that we did at the con and stuff that we experienced at the con. Kris and I attended the X-Men panel on was that Friday? I believe.
I think it was Friday. That was a strange panel, if only because they really couldn't talk about anything.
That's true. Yeah,
because Age of
event.
Yeah, Age of Revelation just started this month, and they can't really tell you what's coming up without spoiling where the storyline's going to go. They can only talk in the broadest terms. They still had some reveals, like a Cyclops series, and there was another Storm series, I think it was. And we all got this nice little, we all got a freebie comic in a backing board with a bag and everything. So
there's a new Rouge series.
It's pronounced Roger, actually.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, this is the those of you on YouTube. This is the backing boarded comic, which very smart of them to actually put a backing board in the plastic bag that they were going to give you for the exclusive, so it doesn't get ruined in your bag when you stick it in there. So
it's just a little annoying because I was like, oh, cool, I can read the issue, and I'm like, no, now I can't because it's no longer a collectible if I open the bag. Because I don't, I do Marvel Unlimited. I don't really want to buy comics because I'm trying to keep my stuff consumption down right now. And I did want to know what's going on with this terrible sounding storyline in which they've ruined soft boy Doug Ramsey.
Well, I love how you keep calling him soft boy Doug Ramsey.
It's Reddit. Dad. You can blame Reddit. Reddit's not happy. Reddit's like, look, he finally became cool, and now you did this.
Oh, God. Inglorious X-Force and Magic and Colossus were the two other big reveals at that panel, outside of Cyclops and Storm's series continuing and Rogue having her own series.
I would say the Magic's Colossus thing, they pointed out, like, we don't really do that often. We don't have the two of them actually doing stuff like fighting bad guys.
Yeah, no, only I do stuff.
Yeah, seriously. Raph does stuff, by the way. Go ahead.
Right, I do.
But, they're brother and sister, and they barely interact. So like it's nice for them to have their own twofer series that Ashley Allen and Herman or Jermaine, depending on how he pronounces it, Peralta.
Herman.
Herman are going to be doing.
Herman, basically.
I know. And in February, did they spell February right? Yeah, they did. Okay, all right. 2026. Okay.
February.
Yep. Yeah. And as we said, the Inglorious X-Force, which is Cable from the future, going back in time, having a memory relapse, looking at his hand and being like, oh yeah, I was supposed to find these guys. And he's not quite sure why. So that's why Helverine is showing up for some reason in this. So that's going to be interesting. Tim Seeley on the writing chores for that particular Marvel book there. Chad, did you attend any panels on Friday?
I did not do any panels. I was either running. I did the Nacelle roundtable.
Mm-hmm.
I did the AWA Ronda Rousey roundtable interview.
Oh, cool.
That was fun.
Okay.
I did Saturday. I did the Energon, Robert Kirkman, Dan Moore, Ben Abernathy, and some other whose names I'm blanking. That was Saturday. And I also did some webtoon things.
Was Dan Moore drawing as you were talking to him? Because I can in my head he's just doing nothing but art at all times.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. No, I told no. Thank you for appreciating my work. Sorry, I just got to finish these 37 pages.
and then after that, finish an entirely separate book for DC. Finish some Power Ranger stuff, and then I'll get back to Energon. Don't worry about it. I'll have it to you by the end of the week. I promise. Guy's a fucking monster. I swear to God. We all attended the AEW XDC panel, which absolutely nothing out of the ordinary happened at, right, Raph?
Oh yeah, no, I had nothing. It was just a very boring panel with very boring normal questions. Oh! Actually, something really cool happened. So they were talking. So all the wrestlers were talking about their origin stories, and Swerve Strickland, who was a former AEW World Champion, mentioned that he grew up loving Ninja Turtles, and his favorite turtle is Raphael. So hell yeah, Swerve! Thank you. Thank you for that, Swerve. And this wrestler Darby Allin jumped John Moxley and hit him in the glass, and they brawled off stage or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
and then Kris and I stayed in the room because All You Need Is Kill was happening next. So we got to experience staff being like, "How the hell are we going to clean this up?"
Why is there broken glass all over the floor? Oh, I think it's only fake broken glass. It's still on the floor.
And it still can hurt. Like when
he's like, I have to pick. Yeah, the lady was picking it up. One of the AV guys is like, why do I miss all the fun panels? Like even when the thing was going on, they almost ripped the curtain off the wall. And that really made me worry because that would have been, the con would have been like, no more wrestling panels.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, they've done it, but this is not the first time AEW has pulled a stunt like this at New York Comic Con. This is the first time I've been in attendance for it.
And if I am going to insert that audio, it's going to be right here. Okay, and we're back.
Oh yeah, we recorded.
Oh, wow.
Like, I still think it should just be like a Patreon.
No, I know, but just in case I decide to, it's there, and if not, it's still really funny to put it that way. So either way, yeah, we had 15 minutes to kill, so we recorded, and then they started playing loud music, and I immediately had to abruptly turn off the recorder. So that's how
it was more like we have 45 minutes, and then we were sitting there for 15, and then I went, Ian, we should probably like record or something, because otherwise we're just going to be sitting here for a while, and then we started talking about. Oh yeah, so I feel like we should just mention. Yeah, All You Need Is Kill was very interesting.
It was, yeah. I mean, those of you have either of you guys seen Live Die Repeat back in the day?
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow, yes.
Yeah, no, Live Die Repeat. It's called Live Die Repeat.
I own it.
Yeah,
yeah. I've always liked it. I never really finished the light novel. I wanted to. I don't own the light novel. I need to get the light novel in order to finish it. But I like the concept. I've always liked the concept.
Yeah, I've read the novel. I own the manga. I'm actually going to reread it. I meant to reread it before we recorded this, but it's been kind of a busy week. Yes, this is, for people listening, All You Need Is Kill was a novel that they based a Tom Cruise movie on.
Yes, they did.
And the movie is a very good movie that did not do well at the box office, but it is a very good movie that should have been called Live, Die, Repeat instead.
Yes, indeed.
But now there is a new adaptation of the original novel, and it has the same name. It has All You Need Is Kill. And it is told from the perspective of the female character, Rita, who was played by Emily Blunt in the live action version. And I think it was an interesting choice to switch the protagonist, but at the same time, it's still not an accurate adaptation of the story, which I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But I think, what I enjoyed about the movie is that the style of it is so fucking weird.
It is, yeah. The character designs themselves are incredibly sketchy to the point where it almost feels like a manga jumped onto the screen. It's not like it's not fluid animation. It's just a very sketchy style.
It's squiggle vision, basically.
Essentially.
It's very wiggly, a little bit trippy. This is probably a movie that you could watch or maybe should not watch while on drugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you should. Maybe you should do. No, we are not.
I mean, people can live their own lives. People live their own lives.
Exactly.
Pay attention to the laws of your particular jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in the original novel, the main character is Keiji, and he starts repeating the day, because there's been an alien invasion, and he gets splashed with the alien blood, and he starts repeating the day. This takes it from the perspective of Rita, who also had the same thing happen to her. But again, the book was focusing on the guy. This was well, where's Rita coming from? Because the thing is, what Rita repeating it in the original novel, she's doing it for longer. So by the time she meets Keiji, she's already like a badass. They call her the Full Metal Bitch.
Yeah.
This anime version kind of softens her up because she seems much younger. I'm not entirely sure where she's supposed to be from. In the novel, she's an American character, and Keiji is Japanese. The anime just kind of left her ambiguous, ethnically ambiguous, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
They did pull in things like her background because her mom is abusive, and we even see that in the movie. And they make it clear that it informs her worldview. Mm-hmm. It's mostly just again, I'm not going to spoil the movie or anything, but they did sort of change a little bit about how the end plays out.
Yeah.
And it's not how the Tom Cruise movie, but the Tom Cruise movie was actually way more optimistic than this version. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And it's set for Japanese theater release on January 9th, 2026. It will have a release here in the US as well.
That will be G Kids.
Yes, G Kids is going to be distributing it, and Kenichiro Akimoto is the director of this. Studio 4C did the animation. This is actually Kenichiro Akimoto's first directing gig for a full length movie. So I think it was well directed. I think
I would say that for a first time director, I was really impressed by it. Also, this is a big difference between this show and Anime NYC, because I feel like if this were at Anime NYC, that panel would have been in a bigger room and it would have been filled completely. We ended up sitting in that room because we're like, Ian was like, well, I want to make sure I get into this panel. I actually had reserved seating, but solidarity, bro, sit with you. But yeah, that room did not fill up, and that made me feel a little sad.
Yeah.
But it's more just like, because I know, because some people are saying that anime is taking over New York Comic Con. I'm like, it really isn't.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. Which I could also say for a panel that I attended on Sunday that I expected to be completely full, which would be the Fiona and Cake panel, and it was not.
Oh, wow.
It was not. I basically just straight up walked in, like Martha and I had gotten there maybe about 5 minutes after it was supposed to have started, and we were able to just straight up walk in, get seats, sit down, and still get to experience it. There were also a bunch of people that I guess didn't realize that it was just going to be a screening of an episode of season 2. The premiere of season 2, followed by a panel afterwards with some of the people involved with it, because it started and then a whole bunch of people walked out, and I was like, what the hell were you expecting? Did you not read the description of the panel? That's exactly what we were going to get with this. Come on.
It seems, I mean, it could be possible that they thought it was going to be a panel with the screening, and they didn't want to stick around for watching the episode.
I guess.
But that seems super weird to me. That's just like a weird decision. I mean, I'm always puzzled when you go to panels and their room is full and the panel starts and like 5 minutes later a bunch of people leave.
Oh yeah.
And it pains me because I'm like, there are people who want to be in this room. And I mean, not to jump ahead, but we went to the SNL makeup panel on Sunday, which did fill up eventually. It was not like a long line waiting to get in. Like we walked in, we sat in the back. And the room eventually filled up. But then, like 5 minutes later, a bunch of people stood up and left. And I'm like, what did they think this panel was going to be? It literally says in the description, it's about the makeup of Saturday Night Live.
That happened during Star Trek, actually, because like I was sitting next to two people, and they just suddenly got up and walked out, and I was like, what is happening?
I mean, life happens. I get that. It's always weird how it's a wave of people. Like, I get like, oh no, my wife is in labor, I gotta run out. Like, I get that. But it's weird when you just see an entire group of people just stand up and like just calmly walk away.
The SNL panel was also a perfect example of get your AV sorted before the panel starts. And now we're ready to play this clip.
Nothing.
We're ready to play this clip.
Nope.
We're not going to play the clip?
Nope.
I guess we're not going to play the clip. Okay, we're moving on. And we literally got to watch New York Comic Con AV sort out their issues in real time.
It was like, it was like, do you want to restart the app or wait for it? And like me and Ian are like, restart. Well, Ian was going, restart. And I said, no. You close the app, you wait, then you open the app again. That's what you're supposed to. It was so painful.
Yeah.
They were doing it in PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Don't put videos in PowerPoint?
Their final option, which they actually figured out eventually, was maybe we should just play it off of VLC. And they did, and it worked. So that worked out in the end, and they were able to, show what they wanted to show there.
Why are you embedding video? Just like a hyperlink, and or like just have it open in a playlist.
Play the videos. Just play the videos because it's not even. It's not even like they had slides in this.
No,
it's one thing if you have a slide, a still slide, and then you want to show the video. It was just video clips. Which this is the really cool thing is that the head of makeup for SNL has like a GoPro, and he actually records whenever he has to put a lot of makeup on somebody. So he has videos of him putting makeup on Sarah or on Keenan or whoever, and so he was able to play some of those clips as like time lapses, and it was really cool.
It was super awesome, which is what I was there for to begin with. It's just I have a feeling a bunch of people just read the words Saturday Night Live and thought that it was going to somehow be like a whole bunch of cast members talking about their experiences on the show, which it was, but it was
Sarah. It was just Sarah. Sarah was the host. Yeah. They probably thought, oh, I love Sarah Sherman, but the thing is, Sarah was there to be the moderator for the makeup guys, and mind you, she gets a lot of makeup done on her on the show.
Exactly.
My one takeaway from watching this panel was like, because we saw this. Was this on Sunday? Yeah.
This was Sunday, yeah. Yeah,
because Saturday, we went to the Star Trek panel. All of us were at the Star Trek panel, and they talked about the makeup a little bit there. And they're like, 4 hours in the makeup chair, which, mind you, used to be a lot longer. Back in the TNG days, Michael Dorn could be there for like 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I'm thinking like 4 hours for that, and like Saturday Night Live can do this in 30 seconds. Surely there's got to be like a middle ground here, because like I know like SNL makeup is not as good, but it looks pretty good.
It is, yeah. They talked about one of the biggest fails was Bo and Yang, like they could see like one of his prosthetics failing in real time and then going no as it was going on, because sometimes that's going to wind up happening. But they managed to do a hell of a lot on SNL in the short amount of time they have to do it in. Let's go back in time though. Let's go back to Star Trek real quick, and talk about some of the reveals that were in that. Which is one. There was exactly one reveal, and that's Stephen Colbert is going to be the voice of the basically the morning announcements on.
It's the morning announcements, but like any announcements that are in the background, like PA announcements. Basically, he's the PA announcer for the show, which I think is very cute. Like I knew about this in advance, and I was like, yeah, Ian, you're probably going to really like the announcement they're going to make. It's somebody, who doesn't have time to actually appear on the show. Mm-hmm. And if you had asked me, the second hint I would have given you was like, yeah, but it is somebody who's going to have a lot of time come May. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so awkward, because he probably got this position because he works for Paramount, and now he got canned.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good panel. Like, it's not every Star Trek panel. Like, we've been going to these for a few years now that they do them, and they take over the largest room, and it's like it's a huge deal.
Oh yeah.
But and mind you, I was a little hesitant because they don't really have anything to show from. They showed us a clip from Strange New Worlds, the next season. Mm-hmm. And then they had mostly just the trailer for Starfleet Academy, because they're not actually revealing anything from that yet.
Right. Yeah. But it was the reveal essentially of the trailer, or that particular trailer, and we were the first to see the clip from Strange New Worlds, which is now available to view on YouTube for anybody who wants to check it out.
Yeah.
I still think the best one we ever went to was when we got to see the first full episode of Prodigy.
Like, I was not. Really
that was like 3 years ago, I think, right? 4 years ago.
It was a while, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but that was definitely on my list of favorites there. The other thing that we did that you weren't there for, Raph, because I'm glad you went home because you needed to. Get your rest, dude.
Yeah, my stamina is definitely not what it. Like I said, I'm 80 to 90% back to who I was.
Yeah.
But there's limitations, and also, I'm only so comfortable with people sneezing and coughing around me.
Oh, sure.
For long enough. I can't get away from me.
But we did the cosplay championships on
I saw.
Yep. And some of the costumes that were on display in this were amazing. They had 4 different categories. One of them was for stitching, one of them was for like machine work, and then there was an armor category, and then I forget what the 4th one was off the top of my head here. But that, like, this hook, for example, that we got to see was absolutely outstanding. One of my favorites of the group that I'll bring up here was actually a Goliath that came out later on. That was not just Goliath, but based on a Goliath action figure. So, not just straight up Goliath, but it's a Goliath action figure cosplay.
With points of articulation?
Points of articulation. Yeah. Well, clearly he can move his arms. But with light up eyes, and the wings could move. Beautifully done here. The steampunk Batman that came out, terrific armor work and full extendable wings. There was a man, Wonder Woman 84 that came out that was also badass. But the Mark II Iron Man, I think, was easily one of my favorites as well, because one of the things about these cosplay competitions, you have to make the suit. Mm-hmm. You have to make what you're doing. So this dude made this Mark II from scratch and had a helmet that could lift up.
That's cool.
Just awesome. So Yep. That and the one that won was a Last of Us cosplayer who is now moving on to the next step of the competition in C2E2, and then if they win that, they're going to move on to, I believe, London for the next competition.
This was the regionals, so she's going on to nationals now.
Yep.
And if she wins nationals, she'll go to the World Cosplay Championship.
What even are regionals? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna make some glee joke about that. Like, oh, we're going to sectionals.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Also, sponsored by Walmart. Did I mention it was sponsored by Walmart? Because it sure was sponsored by Walmart.
Walmart had a big presence because they had the truck out in the parking lot. They had a booth on the floor. They had a thing upstairs in the press area. So Chad saw that as well. Yep. Like, it was interesting because, yeah, even if you go into the press area, even that's sort of like has exclusive areas even we're not allowed to go into.
Yeah, but they don't even go to school here. Like, literally, they have no presence in New York City, so why are they here?
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Yeah, I admit I didn't even look into it. I'm a terrible reporter who didn't actually investigate why the hell Walmart was there.
Because they like money and they want you to buy their things and use Walmart Plus and get a free.
They had a podcasting booth. They had a
weird
dude with a microphone, like sitting in a little booth, like a little zoo animal.
I felt like breaking in at one point just to see if I could, but I didn't want to get thrown out of the con, and so I decided not to in the end. But Chad, what were some of your highlights of walking the floor, like stuff that stuck out to you this year?
Did you guys go to Bubblegum Kids?
No, I didn't actually.
No, they had some very interesting flavors of bubblegum, and we talked to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, here, take whatever you want." And so we got like the Popeye spinach bubble gum, and I got some SpongeBob candy bars, and no, it was really cool. It was they had a lot of stuff. They had like icy flavors and the slushy flavors, and so that was pretty cool. It's a bunch of brothers that run it. So I also, DC was back on the floor, and they were relegated to the back of the floor.
But they had tons of room where they were, to be honest.
Yeah. Before you came on, you say relegated. We actually thought it was really smart to give comic publishers their own corner. At the front of the hall, they actually had signs like "Looking for comic book publishers, head to the back." So they were definitely trying. I guess maybe people were like, "Why are we in the back?" And it's like, no, it's special.
The main difference, Chad, is that they actually had signage, unlike that time that they put Podcast Arena in the back, the last time they ever had Podcast Arena, and didn't give us any signage whatsoever. We were just kind of there, and people would be like, "So, what are you?"
I remember that. Oh my God! And having to hand out postcards and having Juan back me up.
Oh God!
Or having Juan there most of the time because I had started working at Midtown at that point.
Yep. Here's the Daily Planet newspaper that they gave out at the DC booth that you had to scan your badge in order to obtain one of. So I'm glad I got my one, even though they had tons of them.
I forgot to do that. That's fine.
Did you do any of the photo ops there, Chad?
I think no, not really. I mean, I was running around and trying to figure out what interviews I double booked.
Well, it wasn't the only newspaper that I got while I was there. I wasn't expecting to get 3 different newspapers while at the con.
I didn't get that either.
So this is the Godzilla one that they were giving out while I was going by. Godzilla crushes Coney Island. It also has
Is that the IDW?
I believe Bandai Namco actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never bumped into those guys, so they never gave me one.
Kaiju crossword on the back.
They're cool. I do like. I mean, to be honest, I really like Bandai Namco's presence on the floor because like they have these huge booths and they have stuff going on in them. You can buy merch. They usually, I can't remember this year. I didn't look to see if they were doing kit building again. Oh yeah, the Daily Bugle that we got from that was Wizards of the Coast is doing Magic with them, so they were handing those out as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I always like the Bandai Namco booth because that's also where I think usually they have like the giant like Luffy on display.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're usually right next to Viz, but Viz isn't the one putting that stuff up. But yeah, like, you know, and like one year they had the Dragon Ball dioramas. Yeah, we could do like photo booth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember that.
Oh, hold on. Before we forget, what did we find out is coming out soon, Kris, when we were at the Penguin Random House booth?
Oh God, fucking Kingdom Come. I
Yep.
wasn't even with you. We both independently found out this nugget of information and then like got back to each other. So there's going to be an audio book of Kingdom Come coming out in, was it like January? I think the date was.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, coming out soon. But it is a full cast recording.
Yep.
It is a new full cast recording. It
Yeah.
is not the audio book from the 90s that I own on 11/18, so November 18th, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a new recording. It's not the one that I own that I bought in 1998 and have on cassette because I don't even think it came out on CD.
No, it
I told
never
the
did.
woman at the booth, I told the woman at the booth, I was like, I don't even know if it came out on CD. Like, I know you, like, if people want it now, they have to pirate it. Like, you know, so I am tempted to listen to
it's available on YouTube. Last I checked, and I'm still 99% certain the version that's available on YouTube is the version that I put on the internet using Chris's tapes back in the day. So you're welcome.
So when he cried out Seven Thunders, is that
Yeah, that's
is that
it.
what happened there?
Yeah, that's it. And of course, hey, look, an arrow, a green.
Green Arrow.
Oh,
So maybe it's a good idea that they're doing a new full cast recording. Maybe, just saying, but
I mean,
it was cheesy fun.
Green new casting.
it was pretty well done. Like, I think it had some nice sound effects. And it had like, you know, it had actual actors, but also had some like DC Comics people doing smaller roles, just
Yeah.
you know, for funsies.
Mhm.
Because yeah, I
You
think
guys
when you
heard,
rip, what's that?
Absolute Superman or the All-Star Superman.
Oh, the audio version of it, or
Yeah.
oh wow,
Yep.
damn, no, I didn't even know that existed. Then Raph,
Yep.
now you know.
I do.
Okay,
It's really good. It has like Mark Thompson and
Oh
So-
yeah, wow, yeah. Looking at it now, it's even available on Audible. So next time Amazon decides to give me Audible for free, I'm gonna wind up getting that as one of my picks. Definitely. Okay, cool. Yeah, full audio adaptation of the classic DC comic book series All Star Superman. Okay.
I mean, I feel
It's
like
really
it's
good.
going, yeah, it's going back to the roots, you know, with the original like Superman radio play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I will compare these two versions of Kingdom Come. I will listen to it on YouTube. I don't even have anything that plays audio cassettes in this apartment right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I don't even, you know what? It's funny. It's not like I threw out my Walkman because I was like, oh, I don't need this anymore. It's just because I use my Walkman so much, they always broke.
Mm-hmm.
And until I reached the point where I was like, I can't keep doing this. This is not good for my wallet. I just upgraded to a CD player.
You know, talking about things that are useless, like broken things. Also, you know what else is useless? Having a booth for a convention that's already sold out. I'm sure they didn't mean this when they decided that Reed was going to have a BookCon booth, but everybody who went into that booth being like, "Oh, hey, BookCon! Wow, that sounds really cool. When's it happening?" Were then greeted with, "It's already sold out. It's already sold out. It's not happening till 2026. It's not happening till April of 2026. It's already sold out." So great presence on the con, beautiful booth, completely useless to anybody who didn't already have a badge. So, oh well. I was looking forward to attending a BookCon again, but ain't gonna happen this year because I guess they have greater demand for that than even they expected. which I guess is a good thing for Reed. So they'll have to get more space.
it seems likely that they probably underestimated it and they didn't book as much of the convention center because I doubt they sold 250,000 tickets.
I highly doubt that.
It's probably only like 50,000 at most. I didn't even know this was happening again because I know it had disappeared for a while. I've never actually gone.
The last time that I went, my flight back home the day before was delayed by almost 12 hours. And I got maybe 3 hours sleep that night and then immediately had to head out to BookCon. So I kind of don't even really remember being there outside of taking a few photos. So that was fun. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of anything else on the floor that really stuck out to me. I really did like the Miles Morales mural that was part of that Wizards of the Coast booth, harkening back to the Spider-Man video game in a lot of ways. So that was really fun. And otherwise, gaming area was kind of bland this year because it only really had gaming and no real other reason to be down there unless you were gaming.
It was very scattershot because they had a row of arcade machines and an area with like I guess a stage, and the guy when we walked down there, a guy was explaining how to play. I think it was the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah.
But it was like really noisy. It felt disorganized. I think Anime NYC's thing is much better because Anime NYC teamed up with Play NYC. So it is just like a mini con within a con where you have actual booths with indie developers showing off their games, as well as some local groups, like industry groups, support groups, banding together. There was like one booth. This is not, and again, I'm talking about Anime NYC. There was like at least one booth that was probably similar to the Indie Mega booth where people were just showing off their games. And I think if New York Comic Con did something like that, it would be a lot more interesting. Because again, even like, yeah, if it was an anime con, this would have been the saddest goddamn gaming hall I've ever seen.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Because like they got the arcade machines from Barcade, apparently, I think it was. And
that sounds about right.
What you really should be doing is teaming up with Arcade Commons, used to be known as Deaf by Audio Arcade, but they're the ones who build their own machines. You find them at Wonderville here in New York. If you've ever gone to MagFest, like if you've not in New York, but you've been to MagFest, you've probably seen their machines. I think the most recent one that they built was Nightmare Cart, which was definitely at MagFest, and they had a whole panel. But that's the kind of thing they should be doing, and they're not. It was such an afterthought, which is weird because I feel like I don't associate gaming like in that sense, like video gaming specifically with Comic Con, even though it's been there for decades. But I do associate it with anime cons, and I feel like you're getting a lot of the same crowd. And
Sure.
I think people are going to expect that. And it was just like, there were some companies there. And mind you, I keep getting invites for like things like the Ninja Turtles game, but yeah,
it was also
in 3D,
incredibly
though.
Oh yeah, it was also incredibly smart to sell coffee on the floor because there's a strong correlation between comic book nerds and coffee nerds, and they had comics coffee they had a full booth there where they were selling not only coffee you could drink on the floor but also bags you could take home, like this horchata flavored Blue Beetle coffee that I took home with me, which I look forward to drinking, and I'm glad that it exists. It is quite delightful.
And there's nothing like having a very hot drink in your hand when you can't move anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They had iced, which is exactly what I did because I was not gonna play that game, Chad. I was not gonna play that game. Luckily, they noticed that too, and they also had cold brew and stuff like that available because seriously, what the hell? But there was also fudge and
were the Jello shots people there this year?
I didn't see the Jello shot people actually. No, which is surprising because I think they probably did bank on the floor, but I guess it completely depends on whether or not they're going to be able to make it that weekend or not. But the other thing, gaming related, that I wound up picking up, by the way, I did go to the Cyanide and Happiness panel at the con, which was a lot of fun because they were basically just drawing panels on the spot with whatever suggestions that we threw out there. But I picked up their Texas Hold It game, which is all about peeing straight. So I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun to play with a whole bunch of people. Howdy, partner. This here is a high stakes push your luck card game about relieving yourself in the wildest bathroom in the West. Choose the right urinal while dodging all manner of mean cowboys with terrible aim. Choose your loo, aim true, and the winner might be you. Most importantly, you can play it for 2 players. You can play it up to 6.
Cool. Oh, no, I stepped away to actually find my Kingdom Come audiobook. I just wanted to read off. It's like featuring the voice talents of Mike Mirian, Don Peoples, Garrett Scott, John Cunningham. Yeah, I don't know any of these people. But then you get down to, and the guest voices of Dennis O'Neill, Mark Wade, Mike Carlin, Dan Raspier, Charles Cockman, Peter Tomasi, Greg Ross, Janet Harvey, and Elizabeth Vincentelli.
Okay, so I did get to talk to Peter Tomasi at the con. Next time I talk to him, I'm going to ask him what it was like to be a part of that Kingdom Come audio drama, and he's going to say, chances are, I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. So
I should get this signed.
You should, by everybody that you just mentioned that's still alive. Like
adapted by John Whitman, based on a story by Mark Waid and Alex Ross, and the novelization by Elliot S. Maggin.
Okay. All right, go figure.
This is Time Warner. That's why it's Void. It's Time Warner audiobooks.
Jesus Christ! Wow, damn.
Yeah.
What were we gonna
$17?
What were we gonna say there, Chad?
I do think that the booths on the main floor need to have their booth number like where people can see it, because I was running up and down the aisles because Lenny Cooper was forgot his badge, and I picked it up from his friend's booth that he was helping, and it's like, I'm looking for the booth, and it's just like, I know I'm in the right like row, but I'm just not seeing it.
No, but I agree with you on that, actually, because they list the booth number in the in the New York Comic Con app, but then you like, oh, it's an 1800. Okay, great. There's 1800, and then you walk down 1800, and you're like, okay, so where's 18?
Which one is it
exactly? Yeah, because a lot of people don't display it.
Yeah, I don't think it really needs to be on the booths themselves, but I think putting some signage on the floor. Yeah, every time there's an intersection to have, just like in like cities that are not New York that actually do civilized street signs, the ones that tell you what building numbers are on that block.
Right.
I think would be a great idea, is if you could just look at the floor and be like, oh, it's 3430 from this point forward. And there's a lot of little quality of life changes that the exhibition hall could really have. And honestly, I think one thing is they need to start assigning staff to do traffic cop duties, basically.
Yeah.
To start directing the crowds, maybe stopping people so, you can have actual traffic flow. Because to have 2 lines of people basically come at each other and somehow sort themselves out it's asking a lot of human beings. We are social creatures, but we were never meant to have 250,000 of us crammed into a room where we're carrying giant bags filled with big-headed bobblehead toys and people rolling around as Professor X in a wheelchair, and it's just this is not a natural situation we were built for.
Or carrying huge props.
Oh yeah, no. Oh God, and I got hit by at least 3 different people with props while I was walking the hall. Like, if you have a shield and you're Captain America, please be fully aware that it's on your back and you could easily wind up bumping into somebody when you're going down an aisle. Please just be as aware as humanly possible. That'll make my life a lot easier. Thank you very much. Oh, Raph, I forgot to ask you. Did you go to the Turtle Van?
I did. I took pictures there on Thursday, but my friend Patty took them, and I haven't gotten them from her, so I took them again on Sunday. I took actually the one time on Thursday there was someone in Raph cosplay, so I showed him my badge, and I was like, you have to. It's on my Instagram, actually. You have to take a picture with me. He's like, and I showed him my badge because I had my. Oh, I'm a cadet in Starfleet Academy, by the way. I start classes in a couple months.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to starting classes. Even though I haven't taken calculus, so Usually kids take calculus in kindergarten, if I remember right.
Yeah,
So I haven't done that.
that's not even the turtle van that I was talking about, man. I was talking about the Magic the Gathering turtle van that was parked outside that was given free pizza.
Oh, no, I
There
didn't see
were,
it.
I guess there were multiple TM&T vans.
Yeah, well, there was the one
I-
inside, which I'm glad you did take a picture in front of because that one was also badass. But the other one was a pizza.
No, I didn't see that one. I didn't get any. I saw the boxes and I was like, where is this? And I never found it.
It was outside, and I very rarely wound up going outside for anything.
When I went outside, I went home. So I didn't go out for anything.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, no, that's not true. I went out to the food trucks to get food, but like
Okay.
I didn't see it then, so I don't know what happened.
Before I talk about our various swag and whatnot, I just wanted to throw out there real quick the other DC news that came out of the con that DC is actually trying to do some smaller titles under a banner of DC Next Level. They're going to be putting out books Batwoman, Barbara Gordon Breakout, Deathstroke, The Demon, Firestorm, Shadow of the Bat, Lobo, and Zatanna from creators such as Jeff Lemire, Tony Fleeks, Jamal Campbell, Joshua Williamson, James Harron, Mariko Tamaki, and Denise Camp. So
I love Denise Camp.
that they're diversifying their line a little bit and giving smaller books a shot.
Nice of them to actually and actually maybe they'll get the full run that they deserve as opposed to getting abruptly canceled.
That would be nice. Yes, that happens way too often. So I certainly hope that indeed does occur to them. The other thing out of Marvel was that Joshua Williamson is crossing the aisle over to Marvel and is going to be writing Iron Man. He's doing that with Carmen Carnero on the artwork, and really digging the look of the artwork on this. And it kind of looks like a return to old school Iron Man in a lot of ways. So hopefully that is indeed what we're going to wind up getting. The design of the armor is nice and sleek and simple, while also very stylish. And looks like we're going to have some Iron Man kicking ass and taking names. So should be good stuff out of Marvel for that.
I think the premise is it's Tony Stark went into a cave with a box of scraps, but really the weapon is Tony Stark. So Madame Mask is trying to get a bunch of geniuses together to try to create another Tony Stark, and Tony Stark's like, no, I'm Tony Stark.
I think
I'm explaining it very poorly.
I think you're the new writer now. Congratulations. Yes.
I am. My name is Josh Williamson. I work for Marvel and DC.
I'm just glad that Madame Mask
is Skybound.
and
Skybound. That's true.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna have to beg off here.
Okay.
I gotta.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, even for the amount of time that you could, Chad. It was good chatting with you and catching up, and let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me over at Comic Watch. It's comic-watch.com. That's where I'll have all my interviews put up. And Tuesday night we're doing we did a wrap-up show tonight, just talking about the news. And then Tuesday night I'm talking with some people who were there. It's going to be myself and some just some. I have people that were there as content creator. I have somebody from Artist Alley. I have somebody from the main floor small press. So
nice. Yeah, various experiences.
Yep.
Awesome. So, all right, man. Well, have a good night, and thanks again for popping on.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again,
Chad.
Absolutely. All right, take care, man. All right, let's go over our swag real quick, and then I think we can wrap up as well. What we wind up getting at the con and all that various shit. I grabbed up most of my books so I can talk about them when we do get to it. But Kris, What'd you buy?
I don't have any in it near me. Why would you do that? That's so mean.
I just figured that you would, but
I
doesn't matter.
bought two things.
Yeah. What'd you buy?
I bought the orange New York Comic Con t-shirt, which was $35, and I do not like spending $35 on a t-shirt. And then I bought the Mothra,
Ah!
Mothra,
Okay, that's
Mothra.
wow. That's way too cute.
Yeah, I think I saw these at Toy Fair. Ian was with me, and they have like these blind box toys of different kaijus. So you get like Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla and King Ghidorah, and they come in these little boxes that look like buildings. And the thing is, once you've opened it, you have this little building that you can set up and make a little city. And I now put this on my end table so Mothra can watch me while I sleep. And why I like this is it's $6 for a blind box toy. It's not going to bankrupt you. I hate blind box shit because it's like, oh, you don't know which Labubu you're going to get, but you're going to make you pay $40 for it.
Oh, speaking of which, $15, not Raph. It's okay.
That's fine.
Oh, he sounds so sad.
Wah, wah.
I only wanted Raph. I mean, that's the rule. I only collect Raphs.
And I did find a picture of your New York Comic Con PSL shirt, which I think was the best shirt they had on display, to be honest
It
with
sold out. It was the first one to sell out, which really surprises me because I don't think of people wanting to have an orange shirt. And it's not even just any orange. It's like burnt orange.
you. Yeah.
I happen to look good in orange, so I was like, yes, that shirt has some over the garden wall vibes. Let me get it. I washed it earlier this week, so I will be able to wear it hopefully at least 2 times before the end of the month, because I got to put it away once November rolls around, because then Christmas is going to invade. God damn you, Christmas.
Yeah.
I got a shirt which is very on brand for me. Well, actually, I did 2 things. I did the blind box at New York Comic Con. Speaking of blind boxes, where you buy a token for $35 and then you hand it to a hand essentially, and you're still Mothraing, and I appreciate that. But once you do that, they hand you your swag. And you don't know what it's going to be until you wind up actually receiving it. Last year, they had multiple tokens, and the token that I wound up getting, I think cost, what was it, $45? But I wound up getting 2 shirts from that year's New York Comic Con, plus 2 signed pictures from celebrities that they must have just had left over, and a pizza rat, which I still have because the pizza rat was freaking awesome. This year, there was only 1 token you could buy. And that token was $35. And I did it. And I wound up getting a shirt from 2023 that they had left over. It was a nice shirt. It's just I was hoping for something from this year. So rather than wait online, I pre-ordered this other shirt from this year because I like the style of it. And it very much speaks to me, and it's something I could wear outside of Halloween as well. It was the Rested Pizza shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
To describe it, it is pizza inside of a coffin, and it is very funny.
A cardboard coffin.
Yes.
Let's get that clear. I'm very hungry now. You've now made me want pizza. I did buy, I forgot, I also bought these investigators books, investigators as an alligator, because if you're on the show floor in the last half hour, nobody wants to pack up shit, specifically those publishers.
Yep.
So Tor, in its final dying throes of the show, was like, buy 1 half off, get 2 free. And I'm like, oh, is there anything on this table? And I saw these. They're graphic novels for kids. My niece is not old enough for these, but I figured I would throw them into, we'll just throw them into a box until she's older. I specifically said hope chest, and that's how we found out our friend David doesn't know what a hope chest is.
Yeah, boy. Well, still, glad you got those. And hopefully they will be enjoyed.
Yeah, this was 3 books for $6 total.
That's amazing.
So $2 each. Yeah, investigators, braver and bolder. Sorry, here's the camera. And investigators class action.
Ooh.
I gotta remember to stick it out to the end next year
Yeah,
because
John
I
Patrick
was
Green.
so done.
Well,
I know John Patrick Green.
oh, well, there you go.
I know him from the Star Wars line.
Okay, that's hilarious. You're gonna have to reach out to him and be like, "Look what I accidentally bought."
I didn't accidentally bought them.
I
I
know.
bought them because they were on sale.
So this was free. This is a preview of DC's AEW book that they're doing. So it's just a couple of pages of it, but we did all receive that attended the panel. Written by Steve Orlando, by the way. We didn't mention that they also had the creators of the AEW book on the panel, both Steve Orlando and Travis Mercer. So it's not like they got like slouches to write this. Like Steve Orlando is legit, and he wrote an amazing Scarlet Witch for Marvel a couple and still writing it actually in multiple miniseries.
Yeah.
On I picked up after the Jew panel. Yes, I called it that. It's a Jewish panel. Is Superman circumcised? The complete Jewish history of the world's greatest hero by Roy Schwartz, one of the people who was on the panel, and he signed my book. So it's an actual book. So I will have to actually flip through it, but it does have some pretty pictures as reference in there as well.
Oh my God, squiggly things. No. We got a bit on the freebie thing because we got some freebies at the BioWorld party.
We did,
including like a bunch of Naruto socks.
Oh my God, yeah, which were in my wash, so they should be clean. And there was also wasn't there a Durarara shirt as well?
No, Don to Don.
Don to Don. That's what it was. Yeah.
Don, yeah.
Yeah, with the lucky cat.
Yeah, it's Turbo Granny, you heathen.
It's a lucky cat, damn it.
Watch the show already, for the love of God. You got that book.
Peter Tomasi's The Bridge, which is all about how the Roeblings connected Brooklyn to New York. And I got Peter Tomasi to sign it. And had I realized he was a part of the Kingdom Come audio drama, I would have also asked him about that while I was at the booth, but I did not.
I mean, I haven't taken this off the shelf in like a while, so that seems like a cool book. I'll probably borrow it from you. The story of the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, again, for those not in New York, the Roeblings, there were three people. There was I don't remember all their names, but like the dad who basically designed it, and then he died, and his son had to take over. And then his son got the bends.
Oui.
Because, when you're building a bridge, you're underwater a lot because you have to put the caissons in. That's why they call it caissons disease. So then Emily had to take it across the finish line, So go, Emily. Women do things.
Huzzah! Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of good things to buy on the last day of the con, IDW was basically doing a BOGO. So this was part of that. I got volume 1 of Star Trek Lower Decks, Second Contact as part.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep, Ryan North and Derek Charm with Jack Lawrence as well. This is a straight up continuation of the Lower Decks series. And
this is the regular series because there's a mini series which I own. I don't have the regular series, and they were selling the Warp Your Own Way book. It's just Ian didn't want to buy it because he's like, "But you own it. I'll borrow it from you." Note that he has not borrowed it from me yet.
I know, but I will eventually.
You can see reviews of that first volume of Star Trek Lower Decks on the Comic Timing YouTube.
Oh, really?
Where a certain guy named Raph reviews it because he has all the issues.
Never heard of it.
Man, we should really have. We should have that guy on the podcast at some point.
Really, at some point, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. He's Raph and he does stuff.
Right.
The New York City Department of Education had a booth on the floor, and they were giving out free comics. And when Martha walked by, they gave her a whole bunch of of these said free comics. So Voices de Libertad, the story of Simón Bolívar, was one of them. This recognized comic was another one of them here, and also stuff like How to Be an Action Activist by Fred Van Lente, a part of that as well as some other action activist stuff. And one in particular here that I wanted to point out, they had Fred Van Lente's Sketches on the Sidewalk, Jack Kirby, available for free as well. So if you ever have the opportunity and they're on the floor again, free comics for anybody who wants them. It's obviously a good cause, and they're nice, effective comic books to have for all ages to check out.
Well, I mean, I think it's worth noting, maybe this is one of the strengths of New York Comic Con is being in New York City, because you said it was the New York Department of Education.
Yes, indeed.
And I just double checked this, that, yeah, New York City is still the largest school district in the country.
That's awesome.
Though
That's surprising.
Unfortunately, the number of students is dropping. So,
Welp. Oh, well.
yeah,
Charter
that's a little.
schools.
Yeah.
Well, I think charter schools still technically count. I don't know.
Oh,
but,
do they? I'm not
but you
so
know, a
sure.
lot of people are moving is just what it
Oh,
comes down
yeah.
to. But the thing is, like, yeah, New York is historically like a home of the comics industry, because this is where Marvel and DC was. And even as DC has abandoned us, and Marvel is, of course, weirdly on the edge with that kind of stuff right now, like, it's nice to be reminded that we are like a spiritual home for at least the American comics industry, and to see like them be like, hey, we'll use comics to teach kids. And I think that's really good for comics, because again, we're talking about the largest school district in the country. So, you know, it's not quite 1 million kids, but you know, it's up there.
It's definitely up there. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I figured out where I finally found out the apartment building Jack Kirby grew up in, and it's like a 5-minute walk from my mom's place. So I grew up in the same neighborhood as Jack Kirby, is essentially what I'm saying.
Excelsior. Well, nicely done. Nicely done.
No, that's the other guy.
Oh, anywho.
I want to punch some Nazis. That's what he says.
Let me punch some Nazis.
So also talking about good deals on the floor, Abrams was having a buy a book for $30, receive a second book for $30 or less for free deal. And I picked up Avengers: The Veracity Trap, which is a full Avengers story written by Chip Kidd. This is an autographed copy, by the way, and
Very nice.
art by Michael Cho. And
very nice.
the Michael Cho art is just as beautiful as you would fully expect it to be. It is lush and colorful and old school, and I'm super glad that I picked this up. So that's my one Marvel that once again didn't even come from Marvel. And then, of course, the other book from that purchase was My Life in 24 Frames Per Second, written and illustrated by Rentaro. I remember mentioning this on a previews. This is all about the life of Osamu Tezuka. So
We mentioned both of these on previews. I
Wait,
remember
is
both of these.
Is it Tezuka or Rentaro? Rentaro's like a famous dude, good.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. You're right. My bad. I think I got that confused. You know what it was? The Tezuka Cultural Prize threw me off there. So
Yeah, no, that's the big comics prize over there. Rentaro is entirely a notable person in himself.
100% correct there, and thank you for calling me out on that. That's me being tired at 10:55.
It's fine. I will say there is, if you are interested in reading about Osamu Tezuka's history, his biography, there is a comics biography. It is literally a phone book. Like, it is 900 pages.
Not surprised.
And I actually really enjoyed it. I ate that thing up. Like, I read it, and then the very next week I happened to be in Spain, and I went to the art museum in Barcelona, and they had a Tezuka exhibit. So
Very cool.
I didn't even know. I just happened to, like, it was just like, oh, I saw this. This was in the manga. I know all about this. It was, life is coincidence.
Yeah, Rentaro, pseudonym for Shigeyuki Hayashi. And yes, he did oversee Astro Boy and the first ever full color TV anime, Kimba the White Lion, of course, which is totally not Lion King, we swear.
Oh yeah, two distinct different things.
Yep. And that's what I picked up. So, Raph, anything you want to mention?
I think I spent less than both of you, which is kind of rare, I think.
Good. Keep it up.
All right. Well, from friend of the show, Rich Bernatovich, who I didn't recognize at first until we started talking, and then I've remembered a lot of information about him. This is it's a print of a piece of original art he did for charity. It is a bunch of Superman villains. I told him at his booth I got 80% of them. In fact, I only have about 40 to 50%.
Okay.
Because some of them I just don't recognize, and some of them I forgot. Like, this is Blaze, and that's Satanus over there. And I just didn't remember their names because I haven't read a Blaze or Satanus comic since the 90s. Um,
Close enough.
let's see here. My friend Lauren Moran, who is yet another one of those women that I treated like a normal human being at the comic book store.
Good for you.
She made this because kindness is the new punk rock. It's a print with the Superman
Ooh,
tour with the
badass.
Justice Gang.
Yep.
My two great lizard loves, myself and Godzilla in sticker form.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the aforementioned Danny Fingeroff, the creator of the greatest superhero of all time, Darkhawk, aside from Superman, is his Jack Ruby book, because listening to him talk about it got me really interested. So it includes interviews with that this rabbi in Dallas made with Jack Ruby. All of his notes are included.
Oh,
Which
wow.
is really interesting.
That's super
And yeah,
cool.
right. That's why I was saying. That's why I was like really interested. And then Danny was kind enough to sign my Dark Hawk #1.
Good.
And the last thing is, speaking of free stuff, at the end of the day, I stopped by. So I got to stop by, a bunch of artists that I know, artists and creators I know, like Declan Shalvey. This is the name drop part of the show. Declan Shalvey. I got to say hi to Tom King. We were talking. By the way, he's only read the script for Supergirl. He hasn't seen anything else yet, so there's no scoops I can give or he can give. And my friend Justin Jordan, who made it big with the indie series, The Strange Talent of Luther Strode, he gave me this Luther Strode omnibus, and he signed it too, because he, like those other book publishers, didn't want to take it home.
Good.
I think that's it. I mean, I have some like stickers I got for some friends and like some other like little knickknacks, but like I didn't go too crazy. I was in anticipation of going crazy next month.
Well, look, I yes, for PAX Unplugged, and we will talk about that as a group once we've done that as well. But one thing I wanted to point out, there have been years, I've never done it, but I've known people who have. There have been years where people have walked home with full TVs because people didn't want to take them home after the show. So
that's wild.
Yeah, like that's the way you do it, just walk around, wait for people to be closing up, and hey, you want this? One of the booths we were walking by was like, buy one, get 3 free, because we don't want to bring these things home. So that
was the books. Yeah.
Yep.
That's not as wild as Toy Fair, but that's not open to the public really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the Toy Fair stories I could tell. Jesus.
Oh, tell them to us off mic. Anyway,
yeah. Okay, no. You know what I'm thinking? You just sounded like, Dwayne Reed.
Oh, yes, Dwayne Reed. Oh, Dwayne Reed. I could tell you about a Dwayne Reed. Oh boy. I think in the end, this was an incredibly enjoyable con. It felt a little bit more fast than previous cons, but that may have just been, again, that I skipped a couple of hours here or there. Like, I would have loved to have seen more people, but that's how I leave every single one of these conventions, is thinking to myself, oh, I wish I'd gotten to that guy, but it's too late. One person we did get to see for a very short time, both Raph and I, even though she wasn't tabling, we got to say hi to Katie Cook real quick, who literally set herself up at a chair in the hall and had a line of people that she was giving free sketches to, just for being Katie Cook. And she's awesome, like she always is. So good times. All right, anything else you guys wanted to bring up, or have we reached our conclusion?
I mean, I think again, I think my complaints would be the usual. Like, the bathroom situation continues to be abysmal. I had to either go in the press area or go to Javits North. Yeah, when you mentioned Katie Cook not having a table, and I think about how like James Tinian has that huge booth in the artist alley, which does not feel like an artist booth, and I really don't think it belongs there anymore.
Agreed. Yeah,
because he's selling like t-shirts and tote bags in addition to comics. Like, it just looks like a normal booth. Like, I don't know if it fit in on the upstairs floor, but it feels oversized for the artist alley. It just feels out of place. I didn't even know he was big enough to warrant having this huge ass space.
Give him the underpass.
Oh.
The whole underpass. Just give it.
Yeah, and just title it James Tinian the Fourth's Underpass. That's
right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it was an overall for the most part it was a good show. I think I again like it's the same complaints almost every year. I think it wasn't as crowded as it usually is on some days, except for Thursday, which is now the day that everyone goes. I didn't get to say this
I
earlier,
didn't.
but Thursday was more crowded because again, people are showing up to buy stuff now. If
Yeah.
there's a con exclusive, everyone is coming on Thursday for the con exclusives,
Right.
which sucks because I just want to be there to just check out the con. I like to walk the floor. I've
Or
also
I might
reached the
skip
point-
Thursday next year then, because I just want to walk the floor and hang out. I don't want to. I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, I really like. If there was like a one out of 1,000 like Raphael or Superman figure, I wouldn't even like I would try to get it, but I don't care enough for the. I don't have space.
Well,
That's
okay.
the reality.
Raph, seriously, give it another 3 years, and I guarantee you Wednesday will be preview night, just like San Diego Comic Con. Because right now, Wednesday is professional, like professional retailer day and stuff like that. If they're already opening up the con for some people, that's how preview night essentially started with San Diego Comic Con. It was for a specific group of people, and then before you knew it, it was a full-fledged day of the con. So don't be shocked if Wednesday becomes Thursday, what Thursday is at some point, and then Thursday will be completely walkable.
Yeah, and I can't. I only have so many vacation days I can take, and also I have.
Yeah,
I want to travel for things that aren't cons for the first time in my 41 years of life.
that's insane.
What a crazy idea!
Who told you were allowed to do that? That's crazy talk. Don't do that.
I'm not, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
So, one thing I think they can improve is the meetups because they have the meetups at the north end of the main Javits complex, but I feel like it leaks over into the doorway that goes into North Javits. One of the meetups, though, like this worked in my benefit when we were leaving, I think it was the Star Trek panel, and I had to go downstairs, and there was the Bariqua verse meetup.
Mm-hmm.
Like Martha's always like, the Puerto Rican meetup, and I'm like, I looked that up. I can't find it in the app. It's specifically the Boricua verse, which is like Puerto Rican themed costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like, I'm gonna dress as Spider-Man, and it's not just like I'm gonna dress as Miles Morales because he's Puerto Rican. It's like, no, I'm gonna dress as Spider-Man, and I'm gonna wear the red, white, and blue with the giant ass star on my chest. Like that's what the Boricua verse basically is, or at least I have gathered from looking at the people who were there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walked down, I was like, mi gente. I went over there and just hung out a little bit. There was a guy dressed as Bad Bunny. After a while, everybody started, Benito, vente, vente. Like they made him enter the circle and like wave his flag, and it was very nice. It did make me feel a little weird. I was like, is anybody hating us because we're very loud? I know we're loud. That's just Puerto Rican, and we're taking it.
All the actual New Yorkers were fine. We're used to it. Like
they weren't blocking anything. I always just wonder like how are we getting away with this? This feels really subversive right now. It was actually kind of impressive. I thought it was also very affirming. You realize one being like there's a lot of nerds are people of color. But also just to be reminded how many Puerto Ricans still live in New York City.
Oh, absolutely.
How many Puerto Ricans are just huge fucking nerds.
Damn right. Yeah. Yep. And yeah, I witnessed it from the escalators. I didn't get a chance to see it up close and personal, but it went on for a while. It sure went on for a while.
It did.
Quiero, Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I saw a lot of reels from that thing. So
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
It's really tempting to like make a costume. Actually, I want somebody to dress up as Bucky Captain America. Don't even change the costume. Just show up. Yeah, you remember now. You remember now.
Dude, it does work.
The one star. The 1 star. We swear he's Captain America, not Captain Puerto Rico. We swear.
I'm going to accept Bucky Barnes as honorary Boricua. Just I don't know, just because that the boy
He's
needs
invited
something.
to the cookout.
Yeah, he's invited to the barbecue. We could say barbecue because it's a Taino word.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, next year's the big 2-0. The 20th ever New York Comic Con will be next year. They say they're pulling out all the stops, and there's going to be some retro stuff. I hope they do some retro shirts. That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Like maybe if they reprint the. I still own the first ever con shirt, which had Iron Spidey on it, as designed by Joe Quesada. Maybe they'll reissue that, or they'll reissue a couple of others for the year, or maybe even a Comic-Con museum on the floor. That'd be really.
I think a museum would be nice.
Yeah.
I think of a few places in the convention center where you could put it, where it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be very cool. I just want anything, literally anything.
Yes.
I know this is not comics related, but I am still irritated as hell because it is the 400th anniversary of New York City.
Yes, it is.
What have we done for this 400th anniversary? Exactly, jack and shit. Dude, I want a parade. Give me a parade at the minimum.
But don't you understand that New York is the Istanbul of America?
Okay.
It's also the Tokyo of America.
Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you.
No. He doesn't have to stop. What you had to say next is New York is the Gotham City of America.
New York is the Gotham City of America.
There you go.
And New York is also the other New York of America.
Oh my God.
New York is the Atlantis of America.
And on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. We will save further conversation on stuff like Batman Nightfall and stuff like that for our next episode, as I'm sure that Brent Casino has thoughts and opinions on that upcoming movie, but that was also announced at New York Comic Con. Also, real quick before we wrap up, a literal comic book character and one that Jamal Igle himself has drawn in the past, Ace Frehley, legendary Kiss guitarist, died today at the age of 74. So, yep, we're short a Kiss member, and many a Kiss comic has been had over the years. So just want to mention that real quick on this. And here's the Frehley family, and here's the Kiss. So, yep, literal comic book characters in real life, absolutely. Raph, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm everywhere on the internet. Raph does stuff. RAPHDOESSTUFF. Mostly, I don't look for me on socials. I barely use them. I'm on Twitch. I stream usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, either 2 of the 3 days or all 3 days. I talk comics. I watch videos about stuff I like and I talk about them. I play D&D every other week, and when I don't play D&D, I edit that comic book catch-up thing that's on the YouTube for comic timing.
Indeed. Yep. And we've gotten people subscribed to the YouTube channel because of that, and we hope to get more in the future. So that would be absolutely lovely.
Like and subscribe.
Damn right. And Kris, where can they find you?
Mostly just Blue Sky at this point. It's lampane.bsky.social because I didn't bother getting a custom handle. Other socials, you might find a Lampbane. It is me. I just don't use them that much anymore.
Right. Never mind. Go back to talking. I fucking hate autoplay videos on YouTube, and I'm probably going to get rid of our intro at some point. I was just checking on these subscriber numbers. We're up to 202 at this point. We're over 200.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice.
But yeah, no, you find me on Blue Sky. I have an Instagram, but I uninstalled Instagram, and they really want me back. But yeah, just Blue Sky. You can tweet me on Blue Sky. I have a crippling addiction. I'll also be like I said, I'm going to be working at the Chahazma at Brooklyn Army Terminal on Sunday. You can come say hi if you want. If not, you should check out Open House New York. I'm gonna pimp new Open House New York. Since Ian says he's releasing on Friday, so Saturday and Sunday, there are like 400 locations across New York City that you should be able to visit for free that you normally would not be able to visit. In previous years, it's been stuff like the Montauk Club in Park Slope. You can visit the Masonic Temple in Manhattan. I'm probably going to go check out some locations in the Bronx. I know Ian can vouch for it, like being very cool. Like we've gone to like the Bohemian National Hall, which is where the Czech embassy is. Yep. We went to the Mechanics Society, where we got to see this really cool exhibit of locks. You know, that Yeah, but it's just a really cool weekend in New York City. I really recommend if you happen to be in town this weekend. And if you're not, they do events throughout the year. I might volunteer at some of those. And if you're in town next October, and you stay, maybe an extra week after New York Comic Con, you should be able to attend this stuff. It's a great way to experience the city. And they want to get people like they have a goal. Like I went to the orientation, they said they get like 83% of New York City zip codes because when you enter they just give us your zip code because we just want to know where you came from, and the goal is to hit 87 this year, I believe. So, if you can go, or if you're coming from abroad, they probably would love that. They would get a real kick out of it. So I do recommend this. I recommend it to you, Raph. Like if you can find a location near you, just pop in and go, oh, that's cool. And then you can go home and read a comic book. I don't know, Raph. I don't know what you do on the weekends when you're not streaming or podcasting or editing videos or a gazillion other things you do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
I don't know. I don't know either. Wow, this is so existential.
Wow.
What are we? What are we doing here? Why are we doing Christopher Walken all of a sudden?
It just became a thing.
I don't understand. Oh,
on the wing.
Oh, hey, look, credits.
Hey, credits.
Email address, comictiming@gmail.com. Facebook.com/comictiming is where you can find the Comic Timing fan group. Please sign up for that and join in on the conversation there. We're also on YouTube at Comic Timing Podcast, so do check that out. I've had a bunch of comments and replies of late on the Albert Kuhn Captain America video as I posted about it on Reddit, and apparently people paid attention, so nicely done there. Find us on Comic Timing at Blue Sky, Comic Timing Podcast on Instagram, and Comic Timing Podcast on Threads. Thanks again to Chad Burdette for joining us for a little bit here one more time. Thanks to Kris. Thanks for Raph. Thanks to me. And as always, there's always time for comics. Comic Con!
Wow.
I was going to say, but not always time for podcasting.